Hello, hello. Test, 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 test. Okay, it looks like it's coming through okay. Hello, everyone. Hi, Saria. Hope everyone's having a good evening. I will be starting in just a minute here. Looks like the chat is working good. Actually, I think we're pretty much ready to jump right into it. I'll give a little bit of an intro for folks who might be joining for the first time or returning. Hello, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. My name is John. I am a game developer. I've been working in the games industry for 10-ish years. I've worked on small indie projects and larger AAA projects, and I'm constantly inspired by video games as an art form. I am interested in solving technical problems related to video games, and so when somebody comes along and tells me, hey, this game is a modern masterpiece and what it's doing is incredible, I have to check it out. So thank you to Saria for the strong glowing recommendation to play this game by Sandfall, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. So far the game has been really technically brilliant, artistically excellent. The music has been great. The user interface stuff has been great. Pretty much every aspect of the game is well directed and cohesive, well executed, well conceived. I think so far it is living up to the title of being a modern masterpiece for sure. Part of what makes a game a masterpiece for me is it doesn't have to be flawless, doesn't have to be perfect. That's not really it. What makes a game a masterpiece for me is something I call like thematic unity, to sound a little pretentious, or like unified direction. Basically, the games that I think fit into that category are the games that really across the board in all aspects, so that means like user interface, sound design, music design, character design, outfits, everything from the combat to the cosmetics works together like a well-oiled machine. And more to the point, it doesn't have to be technically perfect, but more to the point, every part of the game participates in the overall storytelling that the game is trying to do. So far I found that to be the case with Expedition 33, and the goal of this playthrough, in addition to just enjoying the game and seeing what it has to offer, having fun, remember having fun playing video games, part of it is to try to explore what exactly it is that the game developers are doing and how they're doing it so well. So if I notice something that I think is a really interesting choice that they've made, or something cool that they're doing in the soundtrack or something like that, I want to try to call attention to that. Granted, I have my own focus and speciality when it comes to game design. I am not an expert on every single facet, so this will be my opinions and my perspective based on the sort of work that I've done over the past 10 years or so. And really just kind of explaining why, both as a player and as a developer, I think this is a great game not only to play and enjoy, but to study. Because if you understand what this game is doing right, what this game is doing correctly, or a better way to put it is, if you understand how this team managed to set their artistic goals and then execute on those goals, it'll make you a better developer. It will help enhance your understanding of how games are made. I really do believe that. So in just a second, we're going to start off. We're picking up where we left off last time, at I believe it's called the Sanctuary and the Sakkapate, which are really, really awesome characters, and I'm looking forward to just kind of seeing what that level has in store. I see Saria has assembled her army of box cats. It's awesome. I couldn't wish for a better audience, honestly, than an army of cats in cover. It's awesome. Yeah, hope you're doing well. How is your week going? How are you feeling? Kudos again on that music arrangement. It sounded really good. Really cool to hear that. So, I think I'm going to apologize for motion sickness for the next 10 seconds. I'm going to be adjusting the volume outside a little bit. Okay, so now I'm back on my controller, so that rapid camera motion should have dissipated. Trying to tweak the volume settings. Please let me know if there's anything that sounds awry. Last time I think it sounded a little bit too loud, so I'm erring on the side of, I felt like the game sound was drowning out my voice a little bit, but now I'm a little self-conscious about drowning out the music and stuff like that, so if you want me to boost it up, I'll be more than happy to. Excuse me. Okay. I think I should probably rest. Yeah, Ancient Sanctuary. So notice, again, like I just wanted to call attention to the absolute skill that the developers have in creating transitions between spaces, and in terms of their color palette and the lighting and the level of interest. They are going so hard on the use of color. It's a very strong and very bold color palette, but I mean, just looking at the different types of colors that we have available to us, we have some very bright, vibrant, almost like, kind of reminds me of something like something from sci-fi or something like Arcane, you know, like some very magical, mystical blues and purples over there. It almost looks like I forget the term for it, but the sort of color on like a cuttlefish might display, right? Then we have the more sort of darker, more somber marine blues and teal and turquoise fading into the green, and then this bright shock of red right there in the middle. It's very startling. It almost like hurts your eyes a little bit in a good way. And then this bright, vibrant gold over there. So really, we do have like a gradient, not only of colors that are ranging like across the palette, so to speak, but also, you know, colors that are reaching almost into other genres, if that makes sense. Like you wouldn't normally expect to see, at least I wouldn't, that particular kind of blue and that particular kind of like super shiny purple, to use the technical term, in a game that's of this time period, of this setting. It feels almost a little bit more modern, right? But they're doing stuff like that with the soundtrack as well. They are incorporating elements of more modern music and music from a variety of different cultures in order to really create a unique and eclectic, I know that word is like so cliche, but like it's true, an eclectic sound palette. It really does feel like the developers were encouraged to reach far and wide from a variety of different sources and inspirations, and that has, in my opinion, like really truly paid off in a wonderful way. So, and you'll see what I mean as soon as we enter this area. You'll notice the dramatic change, not just in visuals, but let's listen to the soundtrack. I'm going to shut up for a couple seconds and just listen to what the soundtrack does. Oh, sorry, it says everything sounds good. Okay, good, awesome, thank you. I appreciate the sanity check. Sorry, it says I'm well. Oh, that's good. You watched Weapons and you were kind of blown away. Oh, that's cool. I'm guessing Weapons is a movie, right? What is it about? I haven't seen it myself. Let's see here. Upgrade my L. I think I was gonna do a cheesy thing where I was going like all across the board. Nice. Okay, she's all set. And learn skills. And I think I was still saving up. Yeah, okay. Still got a lot to do to learn to master the combat. Now, initially speaking, this still feels like it's part of the with the... Oh, hey, Omnibumny, how's it going? Thank you so much for stopping by. He says Seth is discussing skeptics right now, especially in regards to the ETSO. Oh man, I'm so tempted to go jump in and instigate, but I think I better focus on the playthrough. I'll check it out later. Is it on like on TikTok or is it on YouTube? I'm guessing that he's probably just being extremely dismissive towards and hostile towards like skepticism as usual. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Sorry, it says it's basically a movie where kids Naruto to hell. Okay, I'm interested. I'm intrigued by that. I am also curious about the sap or the ichor or whatever this is, the amber maybe, that's kind of coming out of these enemies. There's some interesting kind of implied storytelling there. On YouTube. Okay, I'm very, very curious, but I want to focus on the game on Thursdays. But please let me know if anything crazy goes down. I would be genuinely curious to hear your thoughts about whatever transpires. Oh, Naruto. Okay, I thought you meant like people just go to hell and start pulling out jutsu and shadow clones and shit. That'd be pretty funny too. Yeah, so in regards to the soundtrack, if you listen carefully in the background, you'll notice that the palette has started to shift slightly and subtly away from the sort of more somber cellos, and it started to pick up more of a rhythm, more of a pulse, more of a click to it. And I think in a second you'll see how it really starts to pick up and get more dramatic and change like almost genres. At least it was before. I guess it kind of toned down a little bit now. Maybe I have to interact with one of the Sakkapates to kind of kick it back off again.
Voilà qui devrait aider.
So that was there was also a really nice bit of level design over there, you know. It wasn't super complicated or anything, but there was a nice little side path that was just enough hidden that you really have to kind of work for it a little bit. You know, you can miss it if you just idle past, but it's also hinted at pretty nicely. Like, look at the way that the rock face kind of ends in a little bit of shadow over there. So if you're coming through this part of the level, you're just coming through down here, your eye is going to be drawn over there, and it's going to look naturally like that's a barrier and that's sort of the end of the path. If you're curious to actually follow the shadow, you'll see that it's not a hard barrier, and it's a nice little way of just sort of, I don't know how to exactly explain it, but they're like subtly hinting, almost like in Metroid, where sometimes you would just kind of get the vague feeling like this wall, there's something wrong with it, maybe I should try to attack it, right? And then you would find it was a hidden secret behind the wall. They're really good at doing that, at just giving you these subtle little clues to be like, hey, over there, maybe you should go take a look. Same thing over here, right? If you're just haiku stuff. If you're just dashing past, it's very easy for the rock on the right there to blend in visually with that rock face and for you to miss that little gap. But if you take a moment, right, your sight, like the light on the rock over here, like this yellow part, just kind of is disrupted visually by this darker patch, and so it kind of calls out to your eye a little bit that maybe you should go check it out. It's riding the line perfectly, I think, between giving you enough of a hint so that if you're paying attention, you'll notice it, but also not being too obvious, you know what I mean? So yeah. Oniboni is saying like majestic attire stated to be the strongest jutsu, so it's, oh yeah, that, okay. And if you don't think the ETSO is a jutsu, then Ishiki is stated to be stronger than Kaguya anyways, so AP is above ETSO. Okay, I think I understand the overall timbre. Yeah, that's not terrible. At least it's not like openly promoting gaslighting or whatever it was last time I listened to him. I still kind of chafe against just taking statements like that literally, but it's not that's not like so controversial, you know. I know the majestic attire thing that ooh, cool sound. Oh, look at that cannon that's attached to his arm. That's really cool too. Yeah, like I'm familiar with the statement he's talking about, so it does kind of make sense. Yeah, I'm a game developer. I've been working in the industry for 10-ish years, and it's both a, you know, passion of mine and a profession. I'd be happy to answer any like game dev questions you have in general as well. But yeah, listen to the music for a sec. They're like very unabashedly bringing in both kind of like almost mystical, magical elements, but then infusing them with like those little tinkles, I guess, for lack of a better term, those high-pitched elements that feel almost like bone chimes or something like that, like an old kind of ritualistic instrument that's then been infused with a modern, almost like techno electronica. Techno is not the right term for it, but like you know, an EDM style instrumentation. There's clearly a lot of digital manipulation going on here, and not just like adding a little reverb, but actually like reversing the samples and stuff. So they are really reaching far and wide in a good way to make their palette sound dramatic, I guess, and unique and kind of alien. Not to mention, like, the design of these creatures is it's so bold, it's so charming. This guy on the left, you could be like, okay, like, let's just take a second without even getting too deep into the lore and speculate as to what we can learn about this character. It doesn't even take like a super deep investigation to notice that this sword that's attached to his arm is literally attached. He doesn't really have a hand, or they don't really have a hand that's grasping it. It's just tied on with cord. Same thing over there. So it makes you wonder whether these creatures were kind of assembled by something, and their original purpose had nothing to do with weaponry, but maybe they were sort of forced into that role. Same with the masks and the horns and everything. At a distance, the silhouette seems very intimidating when you're approaching these things from afar, But then when you look closer, you notice that, like, okay, yeah, it's a big scary face, but it's a big scary face that's painted over tattered cloth, and the cloth is kind of assembled together from various bits and pieces. Same thing over here. This doesn't look like something that was necessarily always intended to be a warrior. It seems like it was something that was put together and almost like had its purpose changed, if that makes sense. That it's the things about it that seem threatening and imposing from a distance are actually kind of soft and kind of lovable once you get up close. Now, it could still probably kick our ass. It's still like a cannon and a sword, right? And getting vague, like, berserk vibes. But there's a lot of interesting storytelling that's going on that you can get just from looking at this thing. Even if you don't know anything about the lore, which I really don't, they're still doing so much work to tell you a lot about these characters, kind of implicitly, intuitively, if that makes sense. Let me see. Let's see. Yes. Oh, I didn't actually... Wait, what did he say? What did that say, the message? Shoulder weakens. Interesting. Okay, so I'm not actually fully damaging it. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, Omni, so I've worked on a lot of different games. I'm a little hesitant to specify which ones because of, like... Wow, you got really pissed off. Because of just like keeping work and streaming separate. But one thing I can say is I worked on Fortnite. I'm not too hesitant to mention that, since like 10,000 people have worked on that game. But yeah, I did some work on skins for Fortnite. Like I set up like audio and cosmetic, or like sound effects and animations and stuff for some of the skins. So. One second. See if I can do this. Okay, damn it. Oh. Catapults thunder thingies? Damn, okay. I think I attacked the wrong one to start. That was a really interesting attack animation there. Okay. Catapult is damaged. Okay, so this does seem to be working out pretty well. Catapult is broken. Okay. Oh, okay. So the entire apparatus from its head is now gone. Cool. Yeah, I think I want to do some like build crafting off stream, and I think I want to try to like see what happens if I make Gustav into a bit of a more... One second. Whoops. Okay, so there is actually a little bit of a slowdown, like a what do you call it? Oh, nice new weapon. There's a little bit of a sound effect cue, like a slowing down effect that I think is meant to kind of give me a hint as to the parries. So I'll try to focus on that a little bit more. Very curious to see. A very nice choice, I think, to break up the ground with these wooden structures that then have a slightly darker, like blood-colored paint on them. Like those glyphs are very intriguing for sure. Omnibony asks, are game devs trained to be able to perform any task related to the creative process? Is it very specific things, or are devs specialized in certain areas? Very good question. Honestly, it can vary quite a bit depending on what kind of team you work on. In my experience, like my interest has always been like I've been very interested and very curious about audio for a long time, but also in like sort of scripting and technical design. Like I like solving problems and like fixing things. And so I chose at one point to... Whoa, cool, I didn't know that was going to be a thing. That's awesome. I chose at a certain point to... One sec. Cool. To focus specifically on implementation. And the engines that I worked in, like Unity and Unreal, especially Unreal, have visual scripting tools. So you don't even really need to code specifically. Because they have like essentially visual tools that are kind of like, I don't know, Legos with strings attached, where you can essentially do coding just without having to specifically know how to write, you know, lines of code and compile them in the same way. One second. Nice. God, those counters are so fucking satisfying. So yeah, I was able to kind of sec. Too soon. Okay, but it's good now that I recognize the audio cue. I think it's going to be a little easier for me to predict that. Oh, cool.
Ce sera utile.
Attack lifesteal. Oh shit. Okay, that's definitely going to be very useful. Let me finish answering your question though. So I chose to specialize specifically in technical design and implementation because that was sort of the stuff that interested me. If I had chosen to focus on programming specifically, then I could have been in a position where once I became a skilled enough programmer, I would then be kind of deployed where I was needed. So I had a friend who, started off as a gameplay programmer, so they were working on systems under the hood. If you think about like a first-person shooter, they would program like how projectiles were spawned out of a gun when you fired like an assault rifle in Halo or something like that, and then they would make sure that the timing of the sounds, the timing of the sounds was perfectly in synchronicity with the visuals of the weapon, and like make sure that that was synced up. You're playing in multiplayer, you want all those things to be synced up to between what you do locally and what's happening on the server, and so they would manage stuff like that. So let's say they went in and specifically were hired as like a server networking programmer, right? They worked at that for a couple of years, and then that task was kind of done, and then somebody was like, hey, we actually need help building an audio system. They can kind of just jump right over to that because the underlying code knowledge is the same. Like the fundamental basics that you need, and the way of thinking and the tools that you need to use are the same. Of course, then they would go over to the audio team and they would say, hey, I'm working on these audio features, I'm not an audio expert, let's work together and let's figure this out, right? So they would then go over to other teams that had a specialization and work together. They weren't expected to know everything. Whereas other folks, like artists, some people who get into the industry come into the industry as concept artists. And basically what they do is they don't ever necessarily even touch the game engine or go in and like edit any code or anything like that. They just draw, or they sketch, or they do 3D renders or whatever else. Love that they have this little outhouse over here. And in doing so, they contribute to the team by crafting the overall visual tone and palette, and bringing characters to life and giving like structure to the ideas that then will wind up kind of driving the rest of the game's aesthetics. So they can accomplish all that without ever needing to hop into the editor. Oh no, not one of these guys. Not ready yet. I will say that there are people in the games industry that I've worked with that do amazing work that never play video games, and they manage to do that, and that works for them. I will say though that for the most part, no matter what team that you are participating in, you should know a bit about what's going on with the other teams, and you should know a bit about care about how everything fits together. Like, let's say I was working on a sound for the assault rifle. Like, I could just make a sound for an assault rifle. Like, if I'm working on I did work on a military shooter at one point, and so I could go and make a sound for an assault rifle, and I could say in my head, okay, I think this is what it should sound like when you reload the weapon. This is what I think it should sound like when you fire when you're at a full mag or a half full mag or whatever. And I could design the sounds and then just like hand them over to somebody else to implement. But if I know a little bit about how to implement them, I can get into the game engine, I can put them in the gun and fire it and see how it feels. I can see if I like the timing, if I like the weight, if I can like the overall like color of it, so to speak. And then if I don't, I can kind of tweak it and kind of go back and forth without having to wait for a programmer to do that for me. And then, if I'm aware that the art team is going to be designing like a new power-up for the gun that like lets it shoot lasers instead of regular ammunition, then I can kind of keep that in mind and start designing around that ahead of time, or like talk to them about how they'd like it to feel. Because at the end of the day, like every feature in the game is going to be the result of a collaboration between a variety of different people, and so we should all like understand what we're all doing, at least to a teeny tiny degree, and design with that in mind. Does that sorry, that was kind of a long ramble. It's kind of like slightly complicated depending on how you look at it, so let me know if that answered your question, or if you'd like me to kind of clarify anything. Sorry, it says the Unreal Engine, it's so real you can't believe it. Literally, yeah. The original game that it was based off of or sorry, the original game that it was used to support was called Unreal, right? And Unreal came out like, I don't know, 25 years ago, it was a long time ago, and was about some sci-fi game with aliens invading or something like that on another planet. So the term Unreal really more applied to the plot and narrative of that game. But then after a while, it just kind of became synonymous with the engine. So the actual name came before through that other channel, so to speak. Okay, I'm glad it answered your question, Omni. That's good. I actually didn't specifically take an education in coding. I started off in quality assurance, and so that's, you know, QA is just basically testing the game. And as a result, they were looking for somebody who had like an interest in audio, and I'd performed with some bands before, and I'd done some, you know, punk music and some composition and stuff like that here and there. And so because I had that background, they were like, oh, good, we were looking for somebody specifically who does, who will like listen to the, like focus more on the sound in the game from an audio, from a QA standpoint. So I didn't have any coding training whatsoever when I'm curious if that works. No, not really. When I started off. Then eventually I realized that I wanted to do the technical stuff, and so I started firstly focusing on Kismet and Blueprints, which are the tools that help you do that visual scripting that doesn't rely on code. 1 second. Oh shit. Damn it. Okay. That let you do the visual scripting that doesn't rely on coding. And then eventually I picked up a little bit of coding on my own because I was curious and I wanted to be able to do more stuff. But I didn't have a degree. I actually dropped out of college to get my first games industry gig. I ran away to join the circus. So it's something that can only help you to pick it up, but it's not necessary to get started. Unless you're specifically going for a programming job. In that case, if you don't have if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you don't need an advanced degree. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, you'll need to demonstrate some strong coding skills with a strong portfolio or something like that. It depends from studio to studio. You know, some people really want you to have a degree because they want you to have like a grounding in math and physics. But others really, they just care about, like, especially indie teams, they tend to more just care about like what you can do. And as long if you show that you have a really strong portfolio of coding, you don't have to have formal training, you just need to have the skill, if that makes sense. But it really does depend quite a bit on the developer. Let's see. I want to see if I can get to Virtuous, which I think I can do. Nice. Damn it. A little too fast there. Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll just go in for a regular attack. Build that up. It's really tough. I'm silenced, so I can't do that. Yeah. I guess it makes sense to heal at this point. Okay. Let's see what I can do. Reapplies current stance and gives 2 to 4 AP, but I don't really need that much. Actually. Which is the virtuous stance if target is burning, regains 0 to 2 AP. Yeah, that's probably low fire damage, high physical damage. So I don't actually have all that many like high damaging attacks just yet. So I think I'll just keep on going with Spark. Because the 200% damage is actually not bad. And the burning is great. Damn it. I'm glad I took that extra healing. On guard, yeah. She's so cool. So overcharge, can break, marking shot, shatter, medium physical damage, 3 hits, heal self by 20% if the target burns. Yes, it does. So, let's see. Ooh, nice. That's very satisfying. God, they did such a great job with integrating the healing mechanics. Omnipony says, not a fan of the game taking you to this other space, especially when you're in the cave. Oh, interesting. So you would prefer that it would kind of stay immersed. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like it's drawing you into the stage. Yeah, I think that's a fair criticism. I think my sort of like semi-defensive response to that would be to say that it's a bit of a a reference to or a relic of older games where, one second. Well, you know, like the old JRPGs where there would only be like one or two, maybe a couple more, but usually not more than that. Like tile sets per area, or like grids per area where you would fight on, right? There would be the overworld. Or like think about Pokemon as a very extreme example, right? You're playing Pokemon and you're wandering around in the grass, and then when a battle starts, it will basically take you to a completely separate screen. And sometimes in the more recent Pokemon games, I guess, they will you know, show some texture or some color or like something like that behind the attacking Pokemon or the attacking trainer to kind of give you some context as to where they are, but it's still like taking you to a more abstract version of the location as opposed to just literally starting to fight there. I guess like the more recent Pokemon games like Arceus, or however you say that, are probably doing it more like in place. But my like slightly, I guess you could say it's a cope argument, whatever, but my way of like sympathizing with the choice is to say that it feels like an homage to that sort of thing as opposed to a mistake. But you're right, it also can break immersion, right? Like you're in this dark cave, and then all of a sudden you've been transported out to a very bright space. It can like threaten immersion. I think if I were on the game and I had like as much time and money, if I was like the director or whatever, I would say let's just make an additional cave, a combat, what do you call it, platform or something like that, right? If you have the resources, you have the time to do that, then I think it should. It can only make things better, right? I never seem to have enough AP with my L, but okay, I'm just gonna keep applying fire, I guess. Okay, now can I finally overcharge? Yes, thank you. Nice. Okay, here we go. Now it starts to get fun. Omnibomni says, like, it's giving a big whiplash when the environment doesn't fit, but then sometimes it does. Would prefer either to have a cave version as well, or a space that doesn't look like the overworld. Yeah, I think that's a great solution, having a cave environment. And honestly, I hesitate to say this because you never know, but I don't think it would be that much harder to do, because it doesn't look like this is a completely separate space. Because, like, look, you can see I poked my monitor like an idiot. You can see in the background the flag of the Expedition 33. So I think this is literally just the space before. It's actually not like a copy-paste secondary version of it. It's like, or like, they didn't design a specific, like, combat map, right? They're literally just taking a chunk of the main map and bringing you back there. And if they're doing that for this area, maybe they could do it for the cave as well. The only like counter argument I could think of to that is that maybe it got kind of hard to predict. Like the enemies are kind of like jumping around, and there's some big kind of you know, showy flashy attacks and jumps and stuff like that. Maybe they tried that and then they found that like the characters were just animating in a way that was difficult to make look good, if that makes sense. And as a result, they just ran out of time, and they were like, okay, we got to put them in the main field. We can only do one per area. But I agree with your criticism. I think it would definitely only add to the game if they were to do that, if that makes sense. And I do agree that it's like immersion breaking. It's interesting to think about what the reasons could be for those decisions being made, because I guarantee you, like, I could have just done that to begin with. I am almost certain that somebody on the team would have noticed that as well and would have wanted to do what you described. It's a good idea, and I think they would have agreed with that as well. And a lot of times, you know, from an outside perspective, including from myself when I play games, from an outside perspective, it can be very tempting to just be like, there's such an easy fix here, why didn't they do that? You know, like, and it seems that way, right? Why didn't they just make another map? Like, they already have the tile set, they already have the meshes, I should say, and the geometry. If you're curious, the way that these levels are often built is like, the artist will assemble or purchase, usually for, you know, AAA, or sorry, let me start that over. if you're building a game level, you can usually get what are called prefabs or static meshes, which are these objects over here, like that rock, etc. You know, this the ground, the trees and stuff like that. They're not all individually assembled one by one. Usually what will happen is that a game development team, or if you're an indie studio, you can purchase a pack. If you're just a solo developer, you can purchase a pack of these. Will develop a whole chunk of different assets. So they'll develop, like, I don't know, 10 small rocks, 10 medium rocks, 10 big rocks, like 20 different trees, etc. And then they'll have a big collection. And then when the level designers are ready to go and start to populate the world, they will have this huge collection, almost like Legos, to draw from. And then they will start assembling it based on that. So it's not like this whole space was necessarily like sculpted out, like carved out every single inch of it. It was more like it was assembled by connecting a bunch of different pieces together. In all likelihood, that's the process that I'm familiar with as well. So you might think, like, okay, well, why don't they just use those prefabs that they have for the dark environments, for the cave that they're clearly already using, because we went in the cave and it was dark in there. Why don't they just use the same thing and make a second map? And I would agree with you. And I would say that that makes absolute sense. I say, why the hell didn't they just do it? It would be objectively better. But what I have learned, if I've learned anything, is that there's no such thing as, like, one second. There's no such thing as, like, an easy task. I mean, there is, but, like, so many times things that you think are going to be super easy, like, I can't tell you how many times I've been at my desk and I've been like, I'm just going to go fix this one little bug, and I'm going to, like, help out today. I'm going to go out of my way to fix this extra bug today. And then not only does it take me, like, a week to do, I then get told at the end of it that I can't submit it, and I have to delete my work because I didn't realize it was going to create, like, a performance concern, or it was going to eat up too much memory, and art actually needs that extra couple of megabytes for their work, and I can't, like, fuck with it or whatever. You know, there's all these, like, little knock-on effects that you wouldn't expect, that unfortunately just wind up slowing things down. So all of that is just to say, I agree with you, and I would hazard a guess as to the developers themselves agreeing with you, and I'm sure, you know, in my opinion, I'm sure that it probably came down to a matter of just running out of time. But we'll see. I'm very curious to see if it's something that comes up in later levels as well, or if it was just like, this was the exception to the rule. Damn it, I gotta get that one right. This one felt to me like, obviously we were changing location a bit, but this one felt like much more reasonable to me compared to the other one. Wonder if you would agree. Ah, shit, I'm sad I can't ring the bell. Oh, shit, oh yeah, for the character animations, is there not any cave areas that have enough space? Well, I think, I'm probably overthinking it, right? Like, we can probably argue that they could have just made, a cave that was larger without any ceilings, right? But the thing is, the thing that makes me wonder is that since we noticed before that, this is such a cool setup, by the way. These characters arranged in this way, very interesting storytelling. But okay, so let me kind of step back a second and kind of clarify. So, what the hell is that? Gotta go check that out for sure. So, we have these tile sets and these prefab sets and all of these meshes that they use to then assemble these areas, right? You would figure that they could use those to clobber together a little battlefield that then they could populate, like a little cave battlefield that then they could use for these particular combat encounters, and that wouldn't be too hard. However, for whatever reason, they're not actually creating an entirely separate map, it looks like, for these particular encounters. Either they're using a clone or an instance, or they're literally using the same map that we just walked through for battles in this general space. Makes sense. So, my kind of comment to you would be like, well, why didn't they just put a like a cave battlefield and teleport you to that battlefield or something like that? Well, for some reason, they're not doing it for this area either. they're kind of not exactly faking it, but they're kind of doing a bit of a weird, like, counterintuitive solution where they're bringing you back to the real space that you were, except kind of not. It's kind of weird. So this makes me think that they have some kind of limitation, something about the amount of space that they have in the map, something about the way that the level is designed that just makes it difficult for them to create a separate space and manage it. And I'm not exactly sure why. One of the things could just be like, for that particular very small bit of cave, it's relatively easy to just like tack it on to this level for streaming and memory purposes. You can just have it like load in with everything else. But if you have an entire cave map where the entire like that's like separated from the rest of the level, well, that might change your needs for lighting. It might make it more difficult. Oh, it's close to shortcut. Might make it more difficult for you to handle like streaming things in. So the transition between the cave level and this level and going back and forth might wind up just like slowing everything down. There might be different lighting concerns, etc., etc. And again, like, I'm not sure. I'm really just guessing because my specialty isn't in like performance, but usually it will be something like that. It'll be something like, well, this seems super easy, and then there'll be layers on layers on layers of why it's actually a huge pain to do. Hopefully that provided some kind of answer. Sorry, I said, to be fair, there were only like, oh hi, there were only like 40 devs on this game. I think they did what they could with the time they had. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, like, I have never been on a game development team where at the end of development, everybody said, yep, we did everything that we wanted to do. We had extra time and extra money, and we're 100% happy with everything. Like, every single game, it's been like, fuck, we really have to release it? Shit, I'm like only halfway done with this, and I had to cut that, and I forgot to do this, you know? It's like, there's always so much more you want to do. But you have to stop at a certain point, otherwise you'll just go crazy, let alone running out of money and stuff, right? Omni says, we got different space to fight in here, but I think it's less needed this time. Just kind of unfortunate. Might just be that cave in specific problem. Yeah, it could be. I think part of it, honestly, is like not to underestimate the amount of extra work on the performance side, on the streaming side and stuff like that, that it can be transitioning between different lighting environments. If there's a smooth fade between levels and it's a small space, I think it's probably more manageable. I mean, I think, you know, they're obviously very skilled and talented developers. I think they could find a solution if they had time. It just strikes me as one of those things where it's like they set it up a certain way when they were going through it the first time, and then they probably were like, if we can get to this later, that'd be great because it would be better, and then they didn't because it was probably more work than they thought of. I'm really just guessing, but like I have had that exact situation a number of times. Like, I hate this term, but in game development, and I'm sure in software development and other industries too, you have to try to shoot for something called the MVP, minimum viable product. So this is a really hard lesson for me to learn. I never ever want to do anything unless it's perfect, like to submit it to the world unless it's perfect, and like I'm never going to be perfect, so I never want to submit anything. I never want to let anything go because I'm always like, oh shit, I must have forgotten something. I could have done this better. Even the stream, right? Like I wanted to stream for months before I started it, and I'm constantly like, I'm not fishing for compliments or anything. I'm just like constantly worried about is like the audio quality, should I have gotten a better mic, etc., etc., right? Like it never feels finished to me. It's always a work in progress. But 1 second. Damn it. Oh, we're all marked. Nice. Oh, it makes sense that they would mark us because of all the glyphs on his shield. That's cool too. Nice. So I think, you know, part of it. 1 second, I want to focus on this. Nice. So they always do like a final attack. Man, I really gotta get better on that timing. Holy shit. I was not expecting that so fast. Okay, these the combat difficulty is ramping up very quickly. Yeah. I have no idea what the hell I was saying. Oh, yeah, so MVP, minimum viable product. So, like, when I get a feature, like, assigned to me, like, design the sound. Okay, so one thing I had to do for Fortnite, this might be revealing myself a little bit here, but whatever. Is I had to design. Or it wasn't for Fortnite, but it was a system connected to Fortnite for another game that was being made by the same company. I had to make a system for assigning characters to have footstep sounds and body movement sounds, etc., etc. They were working on this big simulation of a city, and they were going to programmatically generate all of these different characters who live in the city, and so they were going to randomize the clothing and the shoes and everything that they wore, and so we would have to go through the character's outfit in as they were generated randomly, and then pick the right clothing and pick the right footwear, etc., for them to wear based on how they were generated. Right? It was a really fun system to work on. Pretty simple in concept, but I refused to check it in, refused to submit it for review for weeks because I was like, no way, I haven't thought about oh cool, too slow. Because what if this character has high heels? What if this character has a different type of boot? What if this character has a jacket? We haven't implemented jackets yet, right? And I had the guy I was working with sit me down and be like, it's okay, you're fine, just whatever you have right now, put it in the game and it'll be okay, and then we can build on it from there. And I was like, no, you don't understand, it's not perfect yet. It can't go in because, one second, there we go. It's not perfect yet because I can't check it in because it's not perfect. And what if we check it in and then it winds up shipping this way? We can't ship the game this way because it'll sound bad. I need more time. And at a certain point, you just don't have that time. You just need to put it in, because the entire time I was holding on to it, I was too precious about it. Oh, this looks really cool. We just weren't hearing any footsteps in the game. None at all. We weren't hearing bad ones. We weren't hearing mid ones. It was silent. And that was affecting the way that players are interacting with the game, and that was affecting the way that other teams were responding to the characters. So at a certain point, I was just told, you have to put in the MVP. By the end of this week, do whatever you can to get this game up to get this feature to the minimum viable product. What is the bare minimum that we could ship with and say that we actually did our job here? And then you iterate on that, right? And if we don't have time, if we run out of time, if the game gets switched teams or whatever, at least we've done the minimum. At least we can point to that and say we've done the minimum. And if you don't do that, if you just hold on to it the entire time, then you get to the end of the game and oh, you didn't check anything in, and you didn't have a chance to check in your partially finished thing, have other people comment on it, have other people give feedback, iterate on it, etc. Right? You're just done. So I think that something that can happen, doesn't mean it happens all the time, but something that can certainly happen in game dev is that the double edge of that sword, the side effect of that, is that if you check in something that's MVP, it works, it's functional, it's fine, but it's not good. It's just it's not bad necessarily either, but it's just functional, right? It's first pass. If you check that into the game, then what happens if you do run out of time? Then what happens if you you are working on the feature and then it gets handed off to somebody else? Then what happens if your schedule is accelerated and you don't have enough time to work on it, or it just gets forgotten, it falls through the cracks? Well, then you do wind up shipping something that is not ideal. And that's kind of a risk that we have. We always have to pick things that pick our battles, right? We have to try and pick things that we can get in soon to get them stood up, to get them functional. Shit, fuck. Understanding that if we don't do that, then we're gonna hold up other teams. We're gonna miss out on the opportunity to get the things in the game so that we can iterate on them, so we can tweak them, so we can have feedback on them. Or but if we do that, then the side effect is that sometimes we will just have stuff in the game that's not really done, but it gets shipped anyway because we ran out of time or something like that. Hope that made some sense. I know that was kind of a long ramble there.
63, Damien. Bon sang, quand je pense qu'on a percuté ce truc énorme que je sais même pas ce que c'est. Comme quoi, les plaques frontales renforcées de Gérald, elles valaient pas tripette finalement. J'arrive pas à croire qu'il nous faille déjà abandonner les voitures. On est encore si loin de la peintresse. Et j'ai clairement une commotion cérébrale. J'aurais juré voir des gestrales sortir en courant de ce truc. Putain, Hector, combien de fois je t'avais dit de ralentir?
Yeah, so I've been enjoying the game dev discussion. Also, fun to notice that there are fucking cars here. What? And they're all rusted out and stuff. So I'm loving the idea that like the expeditions weren't just these perfunctory things that kind of were churned out every year, but were also, they might have been somewhat perfunctory, but also they were trying to learn, they were trying to innovate, and they had their own like unique identities and stuff like that. So you had the one that was like the rock climbers expedition, and you had the other, I guess, that was like the fucking Mad Max car crusaders expedition and stuff like that. That's really cool. A lot of personality, a lot of intrigue for me there. Omni says some genres of games you prefer over others. Let me see. So in general, my favorite genre is like Souls-likes, and I tend to prefer games that have very that are kind of focused on doing their storytelling through the game itself, as opposed to like a lot of cutscenes and things like that. But there are definitely exceptions. I really have loved the recent God of War games. Ragnarok maybe a little less than the original, or not the original. What do you call it? The remake or the reboot. But still, I enjoyed that as well. Let me make sure I know where the fuck I'm going, because I think I'm just kind of running around in circles. Yeah, I've enjoyed both of those. I will say I think I have here we go. Good. I have a lot of respect for games like Nier Automata is one that I played somewhat recently, and like the Drakengard series, games that are have like a very kind of weird, quirky, bold design choice and kind of do nerdy, geeky things, I guess. How about you? I'm probably going to focus on the game for a sec, but yeah, how about you? What kind of games do you prefer?
On dirait des gamins.
On doit se rapprocher de leur village. Il ressemble un peu à tous les autres, non?
Pas d'excès de confiance. Regarde son équipement. Il est plus dangereux que les précédents. Je suis sérieux.
I like how Mael's like not taking it too seriously. Ooh, the vocals in the background. Ah, shit. It sounds like fucking Astrobot or something. Oh my god. This game is so fucking creative, man. It's like some dubstep energy in the background. Yeah, so Omni, to actually answer your question in like a slightly more direct way, not roundabout way. I love Souls-like games. I love games with a lot of exploration, a lot of kind of narrative that's told through the game as opposed to through a lot of cutscenes. Games that are not super grindy. I kind of don't like games like, I don't know, Dead Cells or whatever, where you have to run the same thing over and over again. I can enjoy multiplayer games quite a lot, although I don't play them as much these days. I really got a lot out of Helldivers. Helldivers was super fucking awesome. Recently played Mass Effect. Mass Effect is really cool. Doesn't hold up as well, but it still has a lot of charm and a lot of interesting, like, amazing world building, amazing characters and narrative. And what else? Yeah, I like a lot of kind of weird, quirky games, I guess, like Drakengard is an old-time favorite. What's that game called? Outer Wilds is one of my favorites. Yeah, atmospheric games that kind of make me feel like kind of lost and alone, ironically. I can find very comforting in a really weird way. Bloodborne is an all-time favorite, being a Souls-like. Yeah, those are just the ones off the top of my head, but yeah. Let's see. Omni says, well, I haven't played that much for the cringe reason of I want to stream my reaction the first time playing something and therefore became kind of hands-off with games. Why is that? That's cringe. If that's cringe, then like I must be generating a lot of cringe right now because that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know, if you find that to be something enjoyable to you, I would say go for it, man. Like, most of the reason why I'm playing this game is Saria's recommendation, and the reason I'm playing it on stream rather than on my own, rather than playing like a Dark Souls game on stream or something like that, is because I wanted to share it with you folks. I know Saria wanted to see my reactions, and I was very curious to see what her reactions would be to my reactions as well. I was very excited about that, so yeah. Wait, what the hell? So I don't know. I think, you know, not to get too, I don't even know. I don't know where I was going with that. I think, getting to share games with other people and discuss what you like about them, is really exciting. It's part of the fun for me. I got 1 second. Ooh, those animations are tricksy. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Got the last one. It was really clutch, or really not clutch, what's the word for it? Really close, I guess. Let's see. Oh, I'm burning too. Yeah, I better heal myself. Nice. Okay. Nipomni says, oh, Little Nightmares and Inside. Yes, those are so good. Little Nightmares was, and the sequel both were really wonderful. I think they're making a third in the trilogy, right? I'm really excited to see that. They're so uniquely creepy, and they have such a unique and interesting aesthetic as well. I forgot to mention Silent Hill, like the original series, Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. I actually have a tattoo related to Silent Hill. Very deep. What's the word for it? Appreciation for that series. I do kind of wish that like that you could deflect, like if I miss the first of those 3 shots, I could deflect the second one and third one. It's okay if it's like a combo that I have to get it all the parries perfectly, but if it's individual projectiles, I think I should have an opportunity to recover. Nice. Felt super satisfying. Let's see. I guess I can heal myself just to be safe. Okay. So he's burning, so I guess I'll go into... I mean, the fight's almost over anyway, but still. Nice. I don't know why I didn't do a counterattack there, but still. I mean, like, that's one of those things where I almost think you could give the game a criticism for being too subtle, in that when the Sakkapate swings its quote-unquote club, it's swinging its dead partner. And the only reason I know it's its dead partner is because I saw that little attack display card, whatever you want to call it, the info card, and I only saw that like out of the corner of my eye. And I feel like I could have very easily missed it because I was focusing on the other aspects of the battle. The thing is, it's such a cool bit of information because it actually recontextualizes the entire level when you think about it, right? Because now it's very clear that nice. Now it's very clear that all of those other statues are probably not just fully inanimate objects that always were inanimate. They probably are corpses. And I wouldn't have come to that conclusion unless I noticed that one little flash. So on the one hand, I want to praise it for giving us like such a really cool piece of information subtly like that. On the other hand, I could see some players missing that entirely, including myself, and just missing out on a very important piece of lore for this area. Ah, so they're like inside. I see.
La chef?
Oh, they can hibernate? Interesting. I don't know if there's a word for it, but I love the juxtaposition of like blood and grit. Oh, she got cleaned up after the fight. Whoops. Like blood and grit and just all of the visual fatigue after a battle with the like happy attitude. Like Mael is like, yeah, normal, this is a normal afternoon, you know. Let's see, I gotta catch up on chat. Visual storytelling like horror, like Little Nightmares. Yeah, that's really exceptional. It's a really exceptional game. Omni then also said before that, sorry I missed that, if I were to say I think cartoon platforms like Ratchet and Clank, Sly, etc. Oh dude, yeah, I would be really curious to know, what did you think of the Ratchet and Clank remake? There was a video that came out a little while ago from a channel I think called The Gaming Brit Show. It was called How Ratchet Lost Its Edge, and it was basically comparing the new Ratchet and Clank to the old in terms of like overall design philosophy and character and personality and stuff like that. I'd be really curious to see how you feel about the way that things were represented. I'm going to zoom around here because I'm trying to find the place with those platforms where you can go I can do the duck walk. There was a place where the platform that I could use the like grappling hook or whatever it's called in order to get something, and I can't seem to find it. And there, no. But yeah, I think we probably have a similar taste in games. Omni says, well, what I meant is that I have resulted in me barely playing for the last 10 years. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Well, I see what you mean by cringe, but yeah, I don't know. I would encourage you to try to find some time to play if you think you can. I mean, there's a lot of games out there that have a very that honestly, like, I'm very glad that I get the chance to share this game with you guys, and my reactions in live and feel a connection about it. I also, in another universe where I played it on my own, I don't think that would have been a loss per se, because I do have to kind of spend a certain amount of my like brain or whatever focusing on the discussion, and I'm also trying to perform an analysis a little bit, be like, oh, let's look at this pose, let's look at what this character means, which, by the way, very, very cool character design there. The placement of these characters in as like markers and what do you call them, not road markers, landmarks, is really, really smart. But you know, stuff like that. And there's an argument that if I were to just play the game on my own and just absorb everything, that would be a different experience. I don't think it would be a worse experience or a better one necessarily, but I think it would be different and valid in and of itself. So I would encourage you, you know, not to tell you how to feel, I would encourage you to look at it not as like there's a right way or a wrong way to play the game, or a right or a wrong time. It's more just like there's different ways to experience it. And if something is intriguing to you, it looks kind of cool, looks like you would have fun and get something out of it, then let's say, you know, consider giving it a shot, either on stream or not. For what it's worth, if you do decide to stream it, my availability is not all that great always. My schedule is really stupid sometimes, but I will try to make time to stop by. I would be more than happy to, if that helps at all. Yeah, so here's where I was trying to get to. I don't know if I can right now. Can I look at the map? I have no map. Okay, great. Let's see. A third one is coming out made by a different studio. The original studio is about to release something called Reanimal, which I think you're really like. Oh yeah, that looks really awesome. Or sorry, that sounds really awesome. And if it's by the same studio, I have like, I guess an implicit trust, so to speak, that they will be able to pull something off. Like, you know, when Bloodborne was first announced, myself, as well as I think a lot of people, were probably like, you can't put a gun in Dark Souls, you fucking idiot. Miyazaki, what are you smoking? Oh, it's like, this is like a Metroidvania style thing where I'll have to come back later. Okay. Like, no thank you. It's against the rules. Like, you're not allowed to do that. It's gonna be stupid. And then it came out and it was one of the best games ever, and so I've just sort of grown to trust Dark Souls, like Miyazaki. I don't agree with like every single decision that the Souls games have made. I have issues with Night Rain, for example, but at the end of the day, it's like I will just buy whatever they put out, even if I don't love it 1,000% or whatever, you know, because I know that they are going to, they've consistently managed to achieve a certain quality bar. Oh wow, I didn't notice this before. I wonder if these are like, if the little characters, like just hows are like assembling themselves into mecha, essentially, like they're swapping out their body parts and trying to make themselves bigger or better. It definitely seems like, oh yeah, I was gonna say that there's like a hierarchy of them almost, right? Like there's a progression or an evolution of them. So are we to assume that these guys over here are actually not hibernating? Oh, okay, so that would be really interesting. So the game itself told us that the Sakkapate was swinging its dead partner around, but then the little kid one, forget his name, said something like, oh, they're hibernating. He's the greatest warrior, either awake or hibernating. So do the little kids think that the ones who are stuck are in hibernation when they're actually dead? Or like, is that like a way of them coping with the situation, or they're just naive about it? That'd be really interesting. Let's see. Saria says we have similar taste in gaming. Like for me, I love environmental storytelling. Like for example, here's a really cool Zelda fun fact. A lot of people didn't know. It's for Skyward Sword. Interesting. Okay. If you look through the dorm rooms, you'll notice in Link's that he is a sculptor. Oh, cool. I never noticed that. And you can see a figure he made for Zelda in her room. I love small things like that for Link's character. Yeah, I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too, that I think we all just kind of jumped on board the idea that Link is just a stand-in for the player, and again, like, this is me projecting. I'm not sure if everybody else follows the same perspective, but I don't know if a whole lot of people out there really even think that much about Link as a character, which I think you've kind of expressed frustration about, Saria. And honestly, some of the stuff that you've said has been opening my eyes to who Link is as a person. Like, I actually know that in Twilight Princess, or yeah, he starts off as a farmer, so he's obviously like, and he has relationships with characters, he has dialogue with characters about, like, I forget exactly what it is in the intro, but doesn't he have a father figure or something, or like an older guy on the farm that he's talking to? They clearly have a relationship where he's not just like a plank of wood, right? And with like his relationship with those kids in the village during the tutorial segment as well. But I don't think a lot of people really spend time thinking about who he is as a person. And then your video, you kind of explained, like, when you, I think in your video where you were going over the different heroes of time and ranking them, it really opened my eyes to the fact that, like, no, this is not just a little mecha suit they were wearing walking around. It's actually a full-fledged human being and character, and we just need to be open to learning more about that character, right? Oh yeah, Omni, I'll make sure, I think I'm subbed. If I'm not, I'll make sure to do so after the stream, and I will keep an eye out. I'll turn on notifications. Again, if I miss a stream, you know, apologies in advance. My schedule is kind of weird, and I'm also trying to, like, get, like, some better sleep. Usually I have terrible sleep, but I will stay appraised, and if you leave up the VODs, I can always, like, watch those later. So if you're comfortable doing that, I'd be happy to check those out too. I'd be curious. You don't have to say if you haven't decided yet or you want to keep it a secret. But I'm curious, is there a game that you've kind of picked out that's the first one that you want to play? Omni also says, I love the Ratchet. Okay, cool. I love the Ratchet Lost His Edge video where well thought out analysis. The anti-corporation idea is completely lost in the remake to the point it almost becomes pro instead. Yeah, I think I would agree with that for sure. I would even go so far as to say it's not even almost. It's you know, quite explicit. Feels like very corporate. I have you know, colleagues who have either worked on that game or know people who have, and I think maybe I should start actually having her do like any amount of damage. But I will say, sorry. So like I have, I think I know one person, and then I definitely know somebody who knows a person, who has worked at that studio and on that game specifically. And so, you know, no disrespect to the folks who made amazing art and made amazing animations and like sound effects and stuff and actually built the bones of the game itself. There's obviously a lot of very talented developers who worked very hard to bring that game to life. It's more about the overall narrative and overall like design philosophy. I think that they went in a way that was not aligned with the established universe and characters. Totally fine if you want to remove maybe some of the misogynistic elements or some of the stuff that's super edgy or something like that. But I mean, if you have a character in your game called Skid McMarks, right? It's like you're allowed to just like have those sorts of things set the tone. You're allowed to just have fun with that and lean into that a little bit. It's actually funny. People actually like it. I feel like sometimes we overcorrect in terms of fixing our games in subsequent installations. That being said, on the other hand, I know, and this is to connect back to what Saria and we were talking about with regards to Link, I know some people were really upset that like in Halo 4 and 5 they gave the Master Chief a personality, because the original Halo developers specifically said he's basically just a suit of armor for you to walk around in. He's there for you to project yourself onto. And I don't know, I like the fact that they tried to explore him as a person as well in his relationship with Cortana. So sometimes those changes can be good and can delve deeper into a character that is otherwise not even really a character, just a prop, right? But depending on your relationship with the series, you might feel that as like a betrayal almost. And I think that's a valid response as well. Oh yeah, I will definitely be happy to stop by on stream. I look forward to it. Saria says a lot of people consider Twilight Link and Wind Link, like Wind Waker Link, are like opposites. Both obviously very good people, but where Wind Waker Link is super silly, he's 12. Twilight Princess Link can be silly, but he's very loyal, like a wolf. Oh yeah, of course, that makes perfect sense. Omni says, when it comes to what I want to start with, the thing is, my hope is I'm going to start a YouTube channel soon, which will consist of in-depth discussion of Star Wars. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that would be really cool. Star Wars, man, I just got through watching Andor, which I really, really liked. Season 2. Season 1 was great too, obviously. I feel like Star Wars is in a really interesting place right now where there is a lot of stuff coming out, and some of it is genuinely like pushing the boundaries and like exploring the universe in a really cool way. In a way that doesn't feel like it's tied down to just like the stormtroopers and Jedi, right? They're there, but it's not. There's so much more you can do with the universe, so I can't wait to see what else comes out in the next few years. I think it's a great time to get into it. Would you be playing any of the like the Star Wars games, like Jedi? What are the recent ones that came out from Respawn, like Jedi Survivor or whatnot? Justral Kid says, first time this life, I was cheating him, like, Justral Kid entered the chat, first time this life I got revived at the Sacred River, not too, oh, interesting, 11.9 hours old, we just got, like, a really interesting lore thing, that's interesting, time to train, you should train too, I'm serious, you really need to train, okay, I love his coloration, okay, so these, so I guess I just allowed myself the luxury of this little headcanon, that clearly these were just, like, you know, shades from Nier or something like that. They were inhabiting the bodies of these like painting supplies essentially, but they seem to have an entire life cycle of resurrection, and that adds more intrigue to like them being used as weapons. So they they have a really unique society and culture. And I'm fascinated by the fact that they've also turned what I think these are meant to be inkwells, right? And they've taken them and turned them into almost like part of the vegetation. It feels like they're part of the flora of the area with these like almost palm tree looking things. So yeah, what a cool little world that they've crafted here. I love this shit. Bad aim in Space Wizards. Yes, exactly. Well, hi. There's a little less of both of that, honestly, in Andor. Oh wait, hang on a second. Omni says, kind of trying to correct the record on a lot of worse things most of the community believes, and also just whatever interesting things come up to talk about. I think that's a great idea. I mean, that's basically what when I started my channel, right? I started streaming was to rant about misconceptions and stuff I thought in the community, so seems to have worked out okay. Do you have any thoughts on like scaling between the Naruto universe and I feel like didn't Six do a video on like Darth Vader versus like Sage Six Path Naruto or something like that? Be curious if you're into the scaling aspect of it or if that's just not your focus. Either way, I think it's a really good idea. When that is started, I want to stream with the first thing being a Star Wars game. Haven't decided on the game yet. May I suggest, if you are looking for something a little bit more retro, Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy, or Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, the ones with Kyle Katarn. They're old, right? They're a couple decades old now, but I have such fond memories of those games. If you can stand the jank of them, they're really interesting. And I it's hard to tell if I have rose tinted glasses or not because I haven't played them in a long time, but I remember enjoying them a lot. And of course, like the Battlefield Star Wars game, Battlefront, was that it? Was a lot of fun. Okay, this guy's just threatening me. I like that they have different colored tufts as well there. I'm a nice brush. Okay, yeah, so they are actually brushes. Doesn't mean I wouldn't go for a nice little bro with you. I want to make sure that I oh no, I already did that. Okay, there was a new weapon I think that Loon got, right? Yeah, hang on. So 124 generate running free strain on free aim shot. Oh, okay. So I feel like, ironically, making a free aim build with her might actually be kind of fun, but I don't want to spend too much time like in the nitty gritty of the build crafting. What an iconic pose! Look at the fucking Gestral JoJo posing and flexing. Oh, you're approaching me. Instead of running away, you're running right towards me. Oh damn.
Il semble plus doué que les humains pour survivre.
Il faut croire que l'intelligence ne sert pas à grand-chose pour survivre sur le continent. Bon, en attendant, trouvons la maison du chef. C'est sans doute la plus imposante.
Honestly, I was not expecting this. I was expecting, and I would have been totally happy with it, for each of these little areas that we went into to just kind of be like a combat gauntlet with the big boss. And then moving on to the next thing. But no, this is like a full-on civilization that they thought up and implemented. And I don't even know what to say, man. Like, this is so fucking cool. And knock this down. I don't want to cause problems. I don't want peace, I want problems always. What about this? Okay. Really, really cool. Oh yeah. Sorry, I made that mistake like I'm sure dozens of times, and then I played the English version for 5 seconds and I heard them they say it and I was like, okay, I can't make this mistake, I can't propagate this slander. Rocco says, you guys are so slow, I went on many other adventures and I still beat you here. Oh, why isn't this the one that Mael knows? Okay, no big deal. Okay, I'm a little out of sync here. I think a stream where I play some obscure Star Wars Java games. That'd be really cool too. Yeah, man, that goes back way back. Did you ever play? There was like a TIE fighter. I think it was literally just called TIE Fighter. or X-Wing. Am I remembering this right? There was a game that was just called X-Wing, like Star Wars X-Wing, that was like an old DOS fighter game, like a space fighter game. But then it was like X-Wing 2 TIE Fighter. It's like a sequel, and then you would play as the Empire or something like that. That was a lot of fun. Destral says, when I was little, I swore I'd enter the arena as soon as I turned 30. My birthday was yesterday. I'm so nervous I started pulling all my bristles out. I'm too young to lose my bristles. You've got lovely bristles too, so you must understand my pain. I love that. Is her hair getting like a little bit more white? Is there like more strands of gray in her hair? I remember seeing a picture of Mael with white hair, and I think it was Mael anyway. I'd be curious if they're like slowly starting to get like battle weary and like aging prematurely or something. That'd be really cool. It might just be a trick of the light though. Yeah. The misconception saying, oh, it's talking about the bad name rivals. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where like this would definitely come up in a power scaling debate, like this sort of mentality that you need to just kind of look at the aim of stormtroopers in the older movies, I think, as like a plot contrivance. Like, I think there's been enough media that's come out since then where stormtroopers actually get work done, that it's just like, you know, that was just how George Lucas and the team decided to tell the story at that time. And maybe they made it look a little bit unrealistic, but I don't know if we're supposed to get the idea from that every stormtrooper is just like fucking stupid across the Star Wars universe and can't fucking shoot. That seems kind of weird to me. Although I think they did also play with that in The Mandalorian, right? They had like that scene where the two stormtroopers were guarding the child, and they tried to shoot like a can or something and they kept missing. So maybe somebody out there has this theory, maybe you have this theory, Omni, about why that is. Are all their weapons just made like terribly calibrated and just like impossible to shoot well with? That kind of makes sense. I mean, like the Andor kind of goes into how the Empire are willing to like not be very like make budget cuts and make like weird business decisions and stuff. So oh damn, you're alive. Okay. Took me by surprise there. So I mean, it's possible. Let's see. Zarya says, oh, I think I missed it. Something. 1 second. My chat window is not big enough. Sorry, I'm not keeping up tonight. Yes, okay, I see. Stormtroopers have bad aim. Meanwhile, they perform vastly better than the Rebels in the first shootout scene of the series. Always find it funny that no one talks about the bad aim of Rebels. Yeah, I think it, like, George Lucas has, like, an aim slider and just, like, moves it back and forth whenever he needs to. Jesus Christ. That's so fucked up. Can't wait to become a cheat. Oh, interesting. So I guess those really were dead Gestrals back there. And like it'll become a weapon for... Okay, gotcha. Sakkapate. That's so cool. Okay, so they have like this whole ascension, and then they can become a weapon, but then also like regenerate. So because of all these details coming out, it makes me... Stuff like that just makes me respect the levels more. So like in another game that didn't have this level of attention to detail and this level of storytelling, I would probably just look at that and be like, oh, that's cool. They're a tribal society. I guess that's a tribal looking thing, whatever. But now I'm like, no. Like I trust these developers. Like I know that they're doing something on purpose. So why are some of these red? Why are some of the scrolls like white and gold? What does that mean? Why are they all kind of like stacked together? Why are their shields made out of those things? Like, do they assemble their shields by taking pieces off the wall when they're ready to become warriors or something? Like, even if they never answer those questions, you start to like this level of visual storytelling and implicit storytelling just kind of lets your mind start to piece together interpretations on your own. Very, very powerful. Like, it's not even necessary to answer all the questions. Like Dark Souls games are deliberately open-ended and obtuse to allow the player to kind of fill in the gaps themselves. But in order to pull that off, you do have to have a very strong foundation, and you have to earn it. Right, and okay, now I'm mad. Now I'm pissed. one second. And I think this team has earned it. And then I'm going to be upset about this 1 second. But let me catch up on chat. Let's see. All the Star Wars. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Omni says, yeah, the misconception thing you're doing is one of the main things I gravitate towards with regards to your streams. Yes, that's awesome. That's really awesome to hear. I'm really glad. I do get self-conscious sometimes about, like, just nitpicking things that other people have said. But I think it's been positive. I feel like folks have been enjoying the conversations, and hearing that is definitely, like, very encouraging. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Sorry, it says, all the Star Wars talk reminded me I need to ask Darth Magog how he feels about people saying Darth Vader can, like, destroy stars and shit, because I have no idea where this comes from. Yeah, I think I heard Six say something like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff, I guess, in the comics and in the novels where his power level just, like, goes insane in a positive way. I can't speak to it. Maybe Omni knows more about it. Thank you for not saying Lune. Yeah, I tried to not to make that mistake. I heard them say Lune in the English dub. I think I mentioned that. Jedi Knight series is on the list as well as Battlefront. Probably will go through all the Star Wars games, but will play other things like I'm interested in along the way, like Ratchet and others. Yeah, that's really awesome. I think if you find a niche, like I've been watching this streamer called Hams666 from time to time. And by the way, his community is super friendly. Folks there are, like, really chill, and I have really always enjoyed, like, his commentary on the games. He recently just played through the Sly Cooper, one of the Sly Cooper games, and I think he's going to do some more. And then he played through Zelda, I think Ocarina of Time with Ship of Harkinian. So that might be, you might enjoy, like, checking out how he does things. But I'm bringing that up also just to kind of mention that he has found a niche of a particular style of game that seems to work well for him. He varies it up as well, but, like, you know, he just sort of picks whatever games are, this guy has mad aura. This guy just aura farming inside a fire. Just kind of picks whatever games feel right to him, and I think that works really well, because as long as, like, you're enjoying them and you have something interesting to say, I think other people will gravitate towards that. That seems to be the case for his streams anyway. Seeing you guys are slow and they beat you to town. Yeah. Is there a way for me to actually beat him if I'm fast enough? I'm curious about that. Sorry, Omni says, comes from statements saying Vader's Empire's strongest weapon. Oh, okay. And then people say that makes him scalable. Dude, that is such a Noodles argument. I mean, come on. I've heard the exact same kind of argumentation in some of Noodles videos. Like, what was it? Like the strong, like, this particular thing is the strongest jutsu, or like this is the strongest fighter. I can't remember the specific thing, but yeah, I've heard that exact, like, kind of crappy argument before. Argument is incredibly dumb. Seeing Star Wars and Naruto versus characters relevant. Yeah, I'd be very curious to hear more about that, honestly. Why did the Empire hire us? Are they stupid? Yeah, exactly. Why do they give us guns? Are they dumb? Also, John, you asked if I'm scaling was something I would do, which is definitely among the things I want to talk about. Not the main thing, though. Some of the first videos will be a ranking of council members. Oh, yeah, that'd be really cool. For the aim thing, we have statements that blasters are less precise than slug throwers or gauntlets used. But okay, cool. That makes sense. I'm imagining that there's some other advantage to them to counterbalance the lack of aim. But see, that's a nice way of kind of contextualizing why their aim is not so good, rather than just saying that they all suck, right? Victoriful. Better wake up. You better wake up. Come on, man. Okay, so this is one of those things that really... Don't laugh at me. That really irritates the shit out of me in game design. Because, look, there's absolutely, positively nothing at all wrong with having an area blocked off by an enemy that you can't get around. There's no problem with that at all. And having that enemy be asleep, if you want to say that, like, because you're in town, your, like, attacks don't work on him, that's fine. I can buy that. But my dude is literally jumping. Like, I can clear this. I can walk over this. I could crawl over this, right? If you're gonna do something like this, it's fine. But you need to, please put a character that covers the aperture that your character is trying to go through, or make another barrier, like a shimmering wall or something, or just like a gate. This is one of those things that strikes me as, like, running out of time, because I know these developers are good enough to not make this kind of mistake. They obviously show excellent level design consistently. So this feels like just we ran out of time. Like we didn't have time to fix this, which sucks because it's very immersion breaking for me. But you know, maybe other people won't find it so problematic. I think at the end of the day, it can be very personal which things bother you like that. Very curious also to know what these little shoes are doing over here. The rusted chains and everything. It looks like the interior of these spaces are also made out of strips of bark. So this has got me wondering if the Sakkapatats turn into trees when they die, and those are all elements of bark. Are they like peeled off of the elders or out of the like ascended or whatever you want to call them Sakkapatats? Is this like a way of burying them in a weird way? I'd be curious to know. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I keep saying Sakkapate. I meant to say Gestrals. Painter, she will get us all. I thought Gestrals were not affected by her power. Oh, I know, I'm trying to speak. You son of a bitch. Another human group came here some time ago, and that's what they told me. Another expedition. Yeah, same ridiculous uniform. You remember their number, their name? No, they got beat up and left pretty fast. Huh. Wait, what? So about this previous expedition, you still don't remember their number? Nope. I tried. So that's really funny. This is a bit of a tangential reference. But it like vaguely reminded me of that bear in what is it? What's that movie called? It's not Arrival, Annihilation, I think it's called. That like tries to mimic human voice in order to like hunt down the characters or something like that. But I love the idea that like they have no idea what that phrase even means, but they're just saying it's like, oh yeah, I heard somebody come in here. Just say that. So they're parroting it back at us. That's cool characterization. I love the fact that they've found like these Gestral are very how can you say? They're all made out of a very simple set of objects that are detailed, but also like the core mesh is not really all that complicated, and it has segments that can easily be kind of like stretched and skewed and replicated and then painted over. But they've managed to use a very simple collection of core assets to make a wide variety of unique feeling and seeming characters. Like that guy over there feels very different from, let's say, that guy over there, even though they're essentially made of the same stuff, just like stretched out and skewed a little bit. I mean, no, I do think that this is a different piece of geometry. It's not like literally just pulled, like stretched or whatever, but I mean that the overall like set of Legos, so to speak, is the same, but they feel very different, very distinct, very you know, very impressive in terms of character design. Let me talk to this guy. Oh, thank you. Do you see how meaningless our lives are? I am a philosopher. I hope you buy my book someday. Yeah, so interesting. It kind of reminds me, there's another invisible wall there. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Nier Automata, where it's like there are these creatures, these robots that are assembled via very simple parts, but there are many different iterations and many different versions to give them like variety and uniqueness. But they also don't really understand humans, and so sometimes the things that they say or do are like you know, vague imitations at an attempt to be human or communicate with humans. Like I think there's basically of like you come across some of them and they're trying to act out human behaviors, and there's two of them that are like quote unquote humping each other, and one of them just says like romance, like they don't understand. They've just like picked up some books and tried to figure out what humans do, but they don't quite get it. I kind of getting like vaguely similar vibes from these guys over here. They just have a totally different culture, and they're trying to relate to you because you're going through, but also like, oh, and also I wonder what the glyphs on the faceplates mean as well. Oh no, we're gonna get one of those two guards. One always tells the truth. Give me some philosophy then. It's great. I would buy his book for sure. I wonder how they came up with that. I wonder if that's like a reference to philosophers that the like a philosophical viewpoint that some of the writers had or something like that. Okay, I gotta catch up on chat here. The scaling of Star Wars. Oh wait, hang on a second. Oh no, you can't beat him. You have to remember, John. The joke about Noko is that he's named after an energy drink. Oh right, hyperactive with child. Okay, fair. I'm very curious to see where that will go then. With the scaling of Star Wars, says Omni, you can go a couple ways, but the safest is like planet level with light speed movement. Okay, there are much higher ends that can be argued though, like with Naruto, but you could argue for a low end as well. So by planet level light speed movement, do you mean like an individual like humanoid character could move at the speed of light, you know, like dash forward or like engage in combat at the speed of light and potentially be planet level? Or do you mean like, you know, obviously the Death Star? I don't know if the Death Star can enter warp travel, but if it could, like, that would presumably bring it close to light speed. Or actually, I have no idea how fast like warp speed travel works in Star Wars. But do you mean like large things like that, like ships and things like that, can move that fast and have planetary, like, obviously if shit, why am I blanking on Leia's planet that gets destroyed by the Death Star? If that's vaguely similar to Earth, then Alderaan, then that's gonna be, you know, planetary for the Death Star. I mean, the fucking Death Star 3.0 or whatever in the sequel trilogy blows up 5 planets at the same time, so that's clearly planetary. High end is Force gods that are stated to be able to rip the universe in half. Oh, okay. And then Anakin scales to them. I see. Okay, that makes more sense. You can be skeptic on whether or not they're capable of doing that and whether or not Anakin really scales at all. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be very curious to learn more about that. Saria says, I love their voices. Yes, me too. Oh, and I like the fact that they're using like not French. You know what I mean? You saw the store before. These stores are all over the continent. With a huge manor inside. What, you've been inside? Oh, so you've never been teleported to the ominous, perfectly maintained manor. It's never opened before. At least not for us straws. Wow. Interesting. That is really, really cool. I wonder... It's not a problem. It doesn't really matter. But I wonder if that dialogue would have been different depending on what character I selected to talk that I was playing as. Because that felt a bit more like a Mael line than a Loon line, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I love the fact that they're using like their own kind of custom language for these characters. Gives them a lot of personality and uniqueness as well. Whoa! Didn't actually expect that to do anything. I hope I didn't break anything. Let's see. Individuals will be planet level and light speed. Okay, gotcha. Based on multiple things that are unrelated, character fear and statements. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really, all I know is the movies and like some of the games. This space feels like so weirdly nostalgic, like I've seen it in a dream. And I bet that was a deliberate design thing too. Can we not go in? Oh, okay. Can I go in now? I'm guessing I'm gonna have to search for clues or something. Okay. Must have been something I missed. Fruit? Oh, there's a fish. It's just a couple fish there. Well, it looks like this kitchen has had like a feast prepared in it recently, which is interesting. Okay. Can I go out now? No. There's something I'm missing. What does this say? 1908. Is it absinthe? Kind of hard to see. Oh yeah, absinthe. But it's flipped. The texture's flipped backwards. So interesting little bit of video game industry lore. It's pretty public. I think most people know about this by now. So the art director on The Last of Us 2, I think, was hired out of like partially of the way through the development cycle. Oh wait, no, it must have been Last of Us 1. Let me think. Anyway, sorry. So, The Last of Us, either 1 or 2, there's a part that takes place in Boston. And so the art director, obviously, since they were going through the Boston suburbs, had the Boston subway system, had the perfectly reasonable idea to just use the actual map of the Boston suburbs for the game. And I think he came from Boston, or he just moved from Boston or something like that. So, oh, hello. So it made perfect sense to just like use a JPEG or whatever of the Boston subway system. I don't know if he literally got it off of Google Images. Probably not. It's probably more like he traced it or like made a copy of it in a higher resolution for the game, right? But what folks don't realize is that's not just like a, aw, happy birthday, big guy. That's not just, oh, that's cool. You can see like the leaning tower and everything. Cute. That you can't just use imagery like that. It might seem like totally innocent, but an artist was commissioned to make all of that and to produce it for money and owns the trade right or the trademark or the copyright or whatever. So Naughty Dog got sued by that artist because that was his intellectual property or their intellectual property that was being used without permission. And it was an innocent mistake, so to speak, right? I don't think anybody was like, I'm going to steal this guy's work. Fuck this guy. But it was one of those things where it's like, you got to be really careful with stuff like that. Interesting. Because, you know, you might not realize it, but like every bit of art like that kind of belongs to someone. And here's actually a funny story. I think it's funny anyway. So if you guys have heard of the game called What Remains of Edith Finch, that was a game that I really enjoyed. Actually, I shouldn't go in here yet, should I? A game that I really enjoyed. Very kind of very, very, very sad game. Heartbreaking game, heart-wrenching game. I wouldn't recommend it unless you... Let me rephrase that. I would highly recommend it to anybody who likes like narrative-driven games, but understand that you should set aside some time to cry like a lot. One of the stories in the game is bound to like hit you hard, no matter who you are, in my opinion. But anyway, in the beginning of that game, you're walking through a forest and you're approaching this old house or whatever where your character used to live, and we have a cursed box. No big deal. And so, as a result of that, nice. You see, like, apparently one of your like brothers or cousins or something has gone missing, and you see a missing child poster. And the missing child poster, because the game takes place in, I don't remember, let's just say Seattle, right? Outside of Seattle. It has a phone number on it for like Seattle missing persons. And I called them, and it, like, I called the number. It's just like a phone number right there on the poster. I just fucking called the number. And it was the literal actual fucking police department in Seattle somewhere. And so I thought it was like an alternate reality game. I thought I was just playing along, and I started saying, oh yeah, I'm looking for whatever his name is, Mark Jones. Like, I have to report him missing. Can you help me find him? And then like they transferred me over to a cop who was like, why are you calling here? Are you really filing an actual police report? And I had to explain that it was a video game. And I think the developers actually wound up changing that poster because they didn't realize that the number actually was like a direct call. Okay, anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Why did I say that? The reason I said that is because if that absinthe label is actually from the real brand, from a real life brand of it, you might be surprised that that could be a lawsuit. People are extremely like protective of their IP, so you never know. Okay. So I'm guessing that this is either must be a painting of the development team, right? Looks like it. With a little puppy. So, on the one hand, this is a nice little Easter egg. This is a nice gesture. I would love to know who the disembodied floating head over here belongs to. It's very nice to see them happy and celebrating. On the other hand, though, if it is the developers, I personally, just John, don't like this. Because it is like all of the people here are clearly wearing like more modern clothing and all that, right? They don't fit the aesthetic. There's no reason for them to be here. So to me, this is immersion breaking, unless there's like some kind of fourth wall breaking. Maybe the door in the background is one of these same doors or something. Unless there's a fourth wall breaking explanation like that for why they're in this universe, then for me it's like, I don't prefer this sort of thing. It's too cute for me. That was weird to say. I was quoting George Carlin there, I guess, but like, it's not that you can't do something like this, but for me, like, I don't know, it's like, I don't want to be thinking about that when I'm in the game. I just want to be immersed in the game world. But let's see. Sorry, it says you can hear French words, English words, and Japanese words, but it's mostly just weird gibberish. Oh, I thought it was like, to me it sounds like somebody on the audio team or whatever, like they just decided to create like some phonemes like Simlish, in the Sims games, in order to make it kind of sound like an approximation of human speech, but that it was not intended to be. I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything. I feel like I'm being an idiot, just running around in circles here. Alderaan is the planet that blows up in the movie, to be clear. Okay, gotcha. One of the very early scripts for A New Hope has a Jedi surviving Alderaan blowing up on him. He just kind of drifts through space until he's picked up the hero ship. Oh, okay, gotcha. Do you think that like fits with the current universe at all, or does that kind of break things? John, have you noticed this yet? Has the room helped you understand the joke? I don't think so. I feel like I'm being really stupid and just missing something. Can you give me a hint? Is the joke that the game is playing me as much as I am playing the game? I'm guessing that like has something to do with the fact that this feels like a kind of messy, cluttered prototype workshop where unfinished arts have kind of just been kind of shoved off to the side, and also there's quite a lot of alcohol lying around and books and stuff like that, and so maybe it's a representation of, you're supposed to look at these trunks as like the treasures that the team, like features that the team put together but they never had a chance to fully implement or something like that. I'm not sure about like the whiskey and the bear and the little creepy baby doll in the corner though, and the bocce balls. Something these, never mind. I'm very curious. This looks like part of a door, maybe? Another one of those creepy dolls. Not sure. Oh, the room with the body. Oh, the room with the body. No, let me go back and see. Sorry if the Star Wars discussion is taking too much focus on the game. Oh no, not at all. I really enjoy the discussion. I appreciate it. I forgot I could do that. Is it supposed to be like a weird Mario reference? I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I really appreciate the discussion. Joseph Anderson, yeah, I used to watch his videos quite frequently. Are you which one are you talking about? The one where it's like how Joseph Anderson broke Jedi Survivor or whatnot? That was a lot of fun. I'm guessing I'm just like running around in a circle here so I can leave if you guys are getting tormented by this. Oh. God damn it. Okay. I knew that. I was just being thorough, but I totally knew that was the way out. The room with the body. No, okay. I gotta go back and find the room with the body and look at it. It's down here, right? Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of food. I guess that it's weird, right? Because the Gestral themselves shouldn't be like, I've seen those larger bodies before, but unless the Gistral actually have the ability to expand, did they make that body specifically for the big guy? But he doesn't eat. They don't eat anything. So he's just imitating what he thinks a human would do in this situation. Like, oh yeah, I heard humans eat like food and have quote unquote days of birth. Like all the chestnuts lying around. Huh. It's really bizarre actually when you think about it. Like legs of a cow or something. Pig. Probably because there's so much ham. Pig leg. Very strange. But he's the Sakkapate. I don't know. You think he's supposed to be a Sakkapate? Sorry. I mean, he does look quite bloated, but the Sakkapates are like made out of actual cloth that's kind of stitched together, no? Are you saying that you think he's a Sakkapate as well? I thought they were, like, the Sakkapates were actually more like costumes that the little Gistrals were making for themselves to make themselves look bigger. Maybe I'm off the mark, though. Yeah, no, I said that last time, don't you remember? Well, when we fought the boss last time, I said, Sakkapate, doesn't that mean sack of potatoes? And you were like, yes, it does. Yeah. I'll give myself, like, a point for that. I noticed that the first time. The Joseph video I was talking about is his video essay on Edith. Oh, yeah, the, like, who is the villain of Edith Finch? Yeah, that was a great one, too. That's cool. We have, like, these overlapping interests in that stuff. His Witcher video, the Witcher 3 video started to come out in installments and all that. And to be honest, I have been looking forward to it for years. Whoa, yeah, I forgot about that. That's so cool. I've been looking forward to it for years, so much that I actually started watching it, and then I was like, I think my brain just kind of like spent so much time getting excited and then disappointed about like possible news of it coming out for years, that when it actually came out, I was like, yeah, whatever. I think I mean, it seemed like it was very well put together, and I actually was enjoying it. I showed my partner and I watched through the Witcher series on Netflix together, and then we I was telling her a little bit about the books, and she saw me play some of the Witcher 3, and so she was interested. She was watching a little bit with me, but like, I don't know, I think I just like I grieved for years that it's not coming out, and now that it's out, I don't know what to do with it. So I'll just maybe get to it at some point. Be curious if you have any thoughts about it. The first two videos were great, but yeah. Joseph video I was talking about was his video. Yeah, okay. Yes. No, it's cool to see. Will it take me back to the same place that I was before? Okay, cool. Nice. Okay. I think we should punch something. I'm talking too much. Gonna hit something to compensate for it. Why did I get a house with a view of the stupid theater? I want to be a real Gistral hero, not a pretend one like those brush heads running around their stage. What's a Gistral hero? Here we go. A Gistral hero is an absolute battle genius whose combat prowess is so dominant they can single-handedly protect the entire village against the foulest of... So they're in conflict with the Nevrons. Interesting. Very cool. Wait, what? What was that? How did I do that? How did that happen? Damn it. I'm not gonna be able to read. Yeah, there we go. You go, Loon. How the fuck does that... Okay, if I press the jump button and the talk to button at the same time, she just does that? Does that happen with everybody? Yep. Okay, I found my new favorite part of the game. Oh yeah, no worries, Omni. Thank you so much for the discussion. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever you do with your stream. Good luck getting everything together, and have a great rest of your night. Damn it. Bounced, goddamn you. Fuck. Well, this is what the rest of the stream is going to be anyway, Omni. It's just me, like, getting the characters to bounce in place, so you picked a perfect time to leave. Fucking, no. There we go. You have to kind of, like, roll it. You have to roll between the square and the X button. I think what's happening there is that, like, so they need to disable the jump button while you're in the cutscene, but it's happening a few frames too late. But also, like, they lock your character's animation into the, like, idle while talking animation. So the code running in the background that causes your character to vertically displace while jumping still, like, moves your character up, but given that the animation is locked out, it doesn't actually play the animation, so it just looks like you're just, like, levitating for a second. Okay, I'll stop. This is too fun. Cool. I love this game, even when it's, like, quirky and weird. It's great. I haven't been paying attention to the names too. Alexilo is such a great name. Stile. What I meant to say is, what a fashionable ensemble. Nice. I have some stylish pieces for sale. Very a la mode. Come take a peek. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. And I dislike this because I personally would prefer not to know that there's another expeditioner. Now, technically speaking, I already kind of knew because, I mean, if you pay attention to the box art, it looks like there's 4 expeditioners on the box art. And I think also I saw some cosplay of somebody who was a character who hasn't been shown yet. So I know that there are more than 4 characters or 3 characters, but still, the part of the initial intrigue of this party was, like, nobody else is alive, we're the only survivors, and it's a miracle that the 3 of us survived at all. I would have preferred that there be no in-game clues or hints whatsoever to there being another character alive in the game world that you can still find. However, the problem with that is that if you don't have this guy have any, like, if you go to this guy, right, and everything is already unlocked, right, and this item doesn't show up, then you're not going to be incentivized to come back to him later. So if you want to get your players to return here by leaving a clue as, like, a part of the store has been locked off to you, then this is a great way to do that. I think that they should have gone with something in between the two of those things. I think they should have been like, I don't have anything else right now because I'm still searching, or it looks like you can't carry anything. I mean, that doesn't make sense because then you'd be, like, going through your inventory, but, like, one of these days I'm going to have something really special for the right person, you know, like, leave it a little bit more vague, and that way it doesn't, like, spoil things. But it's another one of those things that I'm sure some people couldn't care less. I don't really do theater, though. We mainly just fight on stage. They really like fighting, huh? Love that you can talk to most of them. They're watching so respectfully. Here I thought they'd already be shouting. There they go. Okay, they just don't shout all the time. Just most of the time. Hello. The fuck? She's mesmerized. She's into it. Fascinating. It sounds like he's playing the main theme of the game. That's cool. The title theme. You know, it's sort of interesting to me that he's just playing a straight up, like, human guitar and not some sort of instrument that he was capable, that he, like, cobbled together. That is an interesting thing, right? They're sitting on regular human furniture. They have, like, their scaffolding, some of the structures in the background are actually assembled. It looks like like custom assembled, like obviously the palisade or whatever it's called, like this spiky fortification was made themselves. I see now the Sakkapates that they're probably, the sucks that they're probably turning things into. So I'm guessing like an expedition came through here at one point and actually set up an encampment and were moderately successful. For whatever reason, they were defeated or they moved out or whatever. And so the Gestral kind of moved in and they're scooping up human tech and culture and like trying to make the most of it. It's very surprising that this one is this good at playing the guitar. That's not a problem with the game design or anything. It's just like, I'm surprised that A, he's capable of doing so with those big bulky fingers, but also but also just like that he understands enough about human culture or music to be able to do that. So I wonder if that means that there's like more going on there with him specifically. Well, that's cool. This game keeps impressing me with just like how big it is. Damn, dude. This is huge. Is that the bell from before? Looks like it. Look at those spikes. Look at how like hostile and threatening and imposing they look. Some of the objects in the air are moving. That's cool. God damn, that's so beautiful. Dun, 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 dun. I love that little you can see the guy going crazy down there. It's awesome. Okay, wee. Oh man, I do kind of wish, like, I do find like they're called blocking volumes or invisible walls. I do find them super immersion breaking and like you know, pun intended, I guess, fourth wall breaking. So I would just like, I would say even put like a little, well, this is tricky. I was gonna say you could put like a little railing or something that you could like bump into so it wouldn't be so immersion breaking, but then that does change the design of the objects in the game world. So I mean, you're doing storytelling when that's the thing. Like every single decision that you make in a game is doing some kind of storytelling, really, at the end of the day. And so it's hard to know sometimes like how to balance that with the actual, like how to balance or I guess what's a better way I can phrase it, not to balance it, but like sometimes you know after a while that any change you make is going to potentially have a an effect on the diegetic storytelling and on the like yeah, like the implied narrative, but sometimes you just gotta do it for gameplay reasons and understand that even if that has side effects, that you have to have priorities. And I actually fully sympathize with the idea that your top priority should always be gameplay, but I don't think it's like necessary. I think, you know, you can decide that your top priority is going to be narrative or going to be music or anything else. The ones we speak are full of greed. Interesting. Over there. You don't want to go there. An unbearable smell lurks away. The daffodil is just building a casino. Oh, okay. Games are cool, but no fighting. What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? Makes me sick. Yeah, I agree. Don't worry, I'm not gonna puke like right now. Maybe later though. An unbearable smell lurks away. So interesting. So obviously that's not like quote unquote perfect English, right? There's something a little bit off about it. I wonder if that was a deliberate choice. Oh my god. What the fuck? That's so cool. It's like a piece of farming equipment to till the earth, to turn out the earth, but it's made out of the feet of the Gestral, like the legs. Also, the music changed in the background. Now, so by the design of this, like the color and the like the metal, the gold metal clashing with the black, I'm guessing that this was a piece of machinery that was somehow brought over to the continent from the mainland, from the island. I don't know what you would call the place that the expeditioners come from, and then eventually it was like retrofitted or adjusted over time by the Gestral. which would be really cool. Okay, I guess I'll talk to you. Oh god, I hate casinos. I built all this alone. I'm classy, I'm elegant, and yet they treat me like a monster. That's impressive. You're quite the hard worker. They will never understand. One day this place will be full of casinos and everyone will listen to jazz. I will be alive to see it happen. Okay, so jazz is canonically extant in this universe. Huh. Oh, okay. Tells us. So I wonder if like, what's this? Rico. I wonder if like parts of the continent. Listen to the music. Okay, I gotta. 1 second, I gotta boost the music on my headphones. Okay, there's like a jazz saxophone solo. I don't even know what those lyrics are. It's Purple Flames. It's like a neon light? What the hell? I love how these leaves look like they could be piles of gold, like piles of coins or something coming out of a slot machine. Okay, this is so weird. I love it. Please tell me we can go in here. Is that horse again? Hello? No. Okay, sorry. Yes. That really excited him. Yeah. So every time I hit, oh god damn it, don't make me do math like live in 4K. Let's say that every time I hit, I have a 50% chance of dealing 100% more damage. What are my chances of dealing more damage in the long run? Okay. Wait, I don't understand the question. Okay, god damn it. Let's say that every time I hit, I have a 50% chance of dealing 100% more damage. Okay, so half the time you're dealing double damage. What are my chances of dealing more damage in the long run? What? Higher chance. What? What do you mean? What? You son. Okay, fair. Yeah, this guy is a visionary. I'm seeing part of his grand design. A true gambler at heart. Here, take this as a sign of our eternal friendship. Your battles bring you lots of excitement. Listening to lyrics. What the fuck? The guy said beep beep, get out of my way. This is so crazy. In pretty much any other game, the juxtaposition of like all of these different elements together would piss me off. Like I would just find it totally like what's the term for it? Just clashing, right? They just wouldn't like blend together. They would stand out. It would read to me as a mistake. Somehow, every time the game brings in like an element like this, it just makes me love it more. Like I can't believe that we went from that we are now in like this sort of tribal brushhead village with like smooth jazz with saxophone solos and people talking about beep beep get up. It's a fucking like ludicrous cover. Somebody in the background going move bitch get out the way. We're fighting like these painter statues. Hello elder. Hello. Okay. They have their own trading card game. Okay. Is there... Can I look in here? Oh, no. This place looks extremely chaotic. I love it. What are you guys doing? It's slightly unfortunate that they kept doing their like idle voiceover babbling while the quote-unquote cutscene was happening. This place holds a great deal of dung, my favorite. Philippe, I know where you're hiding. Come here so I can put you down, you brush-headed twig. Shut up. Come here, you filthy brush bastard. Okay. I still want to go up there. Oh, it's not a, I thought it was like a grappling hook point. Okay, so do I need to get this kid down or something? Oh well. So the dung pile thing was specifically, they really don't like the casino guy. I see. Hello? No. That's fine. You know how Gestrals love a good fight? That's an understatement. Yeah. That's right. See, this here is where we come with when we want to go full brush mode. Okay. It's a designated no rule zone, so you've been warned. I see. Okay, but nobody's actually fighting here. That's weird. I really like the way that the theme song too keeps getting like reincorporated. The or like at any rate, it's a piece of music that is also used during the Lumiere theme. The dun 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 dun, right? That particular motif kind of keeps getting reused, which is nice. Like reincorporated. Okay, anything I missed here? I think I'm making some progress. So there's the arena. Okay, there we go, finally. I say finally, I've been enjoying myself. Matthew the Colossus, I hope he's coming. The rumor is he's a mere bristle of his former self. That's cool. I love how they're using terminology like bristle, that feels culturally appropriate, like their own slang, you know? Just kind of goes to demonstrate how thoughtful they were in creating their little culture. Okay. Ono poncho. Oh, for fuck's sake. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do that. Damn, this music is fucking great. Oh my god. It's just hit after hit after hit with the soundtrack, man. What the fuck? I want to pull out my guitar like right now. This is so good. Okay, geez, I'll come back later. Okay, I gotcha. How the fuck am I gonna do 999 damage? I'm guessing I'm gonna have to come back here way later. Don't call me Patat Dominica's bigger fit than the precious hands. What do you mean Bertrand's hands are so big he could grab the painters and power bomber from the stratosphere? I'm a Julian Tiny Head fan. Oh, they have their own leagues and everything. I do, to be honest, I do think that it's getting, what can I say? This is just my personal taste, but like, I kind of liked how eerie and how solemn and how dire the tone was before. We've spent far more time hanging out, like, granted, like, they're wielding their own dead as clubs, right? But, we've spent far more time kind of hanging out with silly, goofy characters recently than we have, like, dealing with that same kind of intense horror that we experienced initially when arriving. And I hope that that doesn't get lost completely. Okay. Okay. You keep doing your thing, guys. I am gonna go to the arena. I'm not like just totally ignoring it. I just want to see what's up here. Okay, let's just fucking do it because we're here. Hello. Registration for the tournament hasn't started yet. Come back later. Okay. Tournament's starting soon. Okay. So after all this, I can't can't even do the tournament. All right. Let's just keep going. Yeah, I am genuinely curious to know if there's going to be some world event that removes all of the blue stuff, or if I need to go by like level by level and eliminate it manually or whatnot. Oh, good. I love these.
Théo, expédition 52. Oh merde, j'arrive même plus à réfléchir. Ce putain de gestral m'a défoncé le crâne. C'est ça qu'il appelle un combat amical. Ah, je me vide de mon sang. Et leur Toubib est rien qu'un incapable qui passe son temps à parler de ses douleurs aux autres. Putain, c'est moi qui souffre, mec. Je vais crever ici, pas vrai?
That's really cool. Really sad, but also cool. He was just trying to have a friendly fight. Yeah, see? Dun 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 dun. But how many layers, like how much verticality there is. You can even see like bits of gold poking through it at times. I mean, like the layout of these spaces, just so well done. Features that are kind of like nicely integrated. This guy was sort of hard to find because of his color, but he's still, you know. Oh wow, hello. Welcome to the most boringest neighborhood in the whole village, the infirmary. I mean, who wants to heal their cuts? Keep your scars like a real gestral to remind you of the beauty of battle. A bit too gloomy for me, thanks. No, I'm with him. I mean, you don't want to pick up septic, but yeah. Show your scars off proudly, right? Hey, little guy. We got a lot of injured right now. The Neverons attacked not too long ago. Yeah, it's so weird. I would never have expected them to be like at war with the Neverons or whatever. I'd rather die than come back to the village injured. Looks beyond boring sleeping all day up there. Oh, so they're like regenerating or something? So the ones that we've found in these poses before, let's see. Does it look like they have more damage to their bodies or something? This guy maybe. That's very interesting. Yeah, I noticed that Saria, the medic, was doing his best. It does seem like it would be difficult to like wield a scalpel with hands like that. Although that guy was doing pretty well with the guitar before, so perhaps I'm misguided. This guy is not. This guy is not helping anyone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Jesus. Yes, no big deal. You're the worst doctor, and why are you so big? I ate a lot of Nevrons. You eat Nevrons? Just kidding. I was born with this terrible sickness that makes my bones grow every day. Okay, so they do have some kind of skeletal structure. Every day I feel the excruciating pain. Jesus Christ, pushing the boundaries of my flesh. Every day I wish I was not born to suffer like this. So one day I decided I don't want anyone to suffer the way I do. I studied very hard, harder than anyone else, to become a doctor. Even if there is no competition here because everyone is dumb. I pushed my nose. Sorry. I have to use that line. I don't know where, I don't know how, but I need to for that to be a part of my life. Even if there's no competition here because everyone is dumb, I push myself through self-discipline. And I saved more than 10,000 of my fellow Gestral. I don't believe you, but I hope you're right. All the while suffering inside like no one else in this world. So don't tell me what I am. Don't tell me who you are. Because the most horrible thing you've gone through in your life, I go through every day. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I've been totally, I think my expectations continually challenged by these characters. In a good way. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I believe you, but if that's true, that's great. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. What are these sensors? Huh, interesting. So one very minor nitpick that doesn't really matter, but it's just bothering me because I have to work on stuff like this sometimes, is that the background audio, actually, I was gonna say every once in a while you'll hear like laughing in the background, like ha 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 ha, you know, like in a crowd. And to me, it doesn't sound like the Gistral. It sounds like just some normal ass people decided to record the sound of them laughing in a room somewhere. It's not the end of the world. It's just like they might have iterated on it a little bit more. Yeah, I love him too, Sarah. He's quite the character. I don't want him to be mad. I was only joking. But now it's too late to back down, so I'll stand my ground and pretend to be mad. I've been in situations like this before. What, you want to argue with me too? So everyone wants me to go, is that it? Yeah. Sometimes, like, I hate to admit it, like, I think I've grown since then, but I've definitely been in arguments where, like, within 5 minutes of the argument, I don't even remember what the fuck we were fighting about anyway. But it's like, well, I can't back down now because it looks stupid. Honestly, isn't that like most of like Naruto debating? If we're honest, it's just like, you know, we try to come up with good arguments. Inevitably, we say something silly, and then we have like this critical choice at the beginning of every debate, like 5 minutes, and we make that silly statement. Either, oh hi friends, it looks fun. Either we choose to whatchamacallit? Wow, there's a lot going on here, huh? Either we choose to... I can't focus. Whatever. It's fine. We choose to... Yeah, for the Naruto debates, we either choose to, like, just acknowledge that we said something silly and shake hands and move on, or we dig our fucking heels in and prepare for a long-ass battle that'll probably last, like, 4 hours. And... so many times I have seen the... fuck. I was going to say I've seen the wrong choice made, and then I made a wrong choice myself. So, oops. Oops. It's fine. Let's try again. Okay. I do wish that there... I mean, like, it feels so cool to use the okay, I'll say this. I don't think this is a mistake. This is not something that I think is like a problem, or I would ever deduct points for the game or whatever. I don't know. The best doctor in gaming is always going to be Morden Solis, so he can only be the second best doctor in gaming, but I believe that he thinks he did those things. But I'm not sure about how well he executed on the premise. We will see. I will reserve judgment. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, this is not a flaw per se. I'm not saying that like I would deduct points from the game for this, but what I will say is that I am never personally as a gamer going to find like shimmying from platform to platform like that over those little rungs, or doing that sort of climbing to be interesting. Like, it's just not a fun gameplay mechanic. I already see where I'm supposed to go. Like, you're just kind of getting in my way and slowing me down. It's just annoying. There's no reason why you couldn't have put like a platform, like a bridge there, and I just could have walked straight across, other than to slow me down a little bit and to break it up for the sake of variety. But if you're gonna do that, you already have a fucking awesome grappling hook that feels amazing to use and sounds cool and looks cool. Don't, please, like, not just Sandfall, just like games industry in general, please do not give me a fucking slow ass little hopping rung ladder type thing when you've already given me like a turbo grappling hook. Like, you already won. You already did the correct thing. It's already there. Please just let me use the awesome shit that you came up with, instead of slowing me down with this other irrelevant shit. Now, that's just my opinion as a gamer. You know, like, it's not a critique as a developer. I hope that makes sense. Okay, well, can I not talk to him? I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna regret this, huh? Oh, well, that actually worked. Okay. Okay. Can I do this? Oh, come on. Well, that was enlightening. Okay. Hi, friend. You guys coming to see the Joust games? It's the newest trend in town. Nothing beats a good old fight to the death in the arena, though. Okay, well, let's go see. This looks really interesting. Talk to this guy first, I guess. His voice almost synced up with the background. Oh yeah, that's so it's slightly unfortunate that the animations there to the right are like that. They're all kind of synced up, and it's one of those things where it can be sort of tricky to solve that problem, even though it seems like it would be really simple. One way to do it would be, if you can, in Unreal, there's sometimes, like I'm 99% sure, that there's a way that you can actually slow down the playback rate of an animation. You can also create like an offset to delay it by a certain amount of time. So what you can do is, like, each of these individuals, you can give them a slight like percent chance variation to be like X amount of time slower, put it like on the order of a couple of milliseconds. You can also stretch the animation by altering the playback rate and making it playing a little bit slower, a little bit faster. So if the tech is already there, if the framework is already there, it's actually really easy to set up a slight amount of variation in animations like this. It's also not all that hard to do something like you put all of these enemies in a group, or sorry, these Gestral in a group together, and then that group lives in what's called like an array, or like a container, and you can go through that container and say, okay, the first 4 members of this container, give them a slight variation, and then the last 4 give them or like every odd one give them a light variation, every even one give them an extreme variation, or something like that, right? You can do that pretty easily as long as the basic framework for the tools is there. If it's not, it can be a fucking nightmare, because you basically have to go in and like make 10, 12, however many different versions of the same animation with slight variations, slight differences. And then if you need to make a change to the basic animation, then all of those other animations that are like the stretched and skewed versions, the elongated or shortened versions for variation, then all of those would need to be completely redone. And so it's one of those things again where, like, I bet, if I had to guess, that somebody at the development team put this in early on and was like, okay, we'll come back around to this later. Now we have the MVP. We have the characters here. They're like raising their fists and they're engaging in this like chant, so to speak. This is enough to get us to like a demo. This is enough to get us out the door. Please, let's come back around when we have more time. And then they just didn't have more time, or they didn't have the tech underlying it to add variation very easily. So. Jousting is still a form of fighting, though. Not everyone knows that, to ruin the fun for them. I have to say, my kiddo prefers jousting to fighting, so if he ever knows that it's just fighting with more rules, he's gonna have a meltdown. I have to say, despite like some kind of quirkiness in the tone sometimes, this game is also really fucking funny, which I was not expecting. Like, I was expecting some heartful moments and like some chuckles here and there, like Maël and Gustav obviously have like a rapport, and they have like some nice back and forth and all that. So there was obviously going to be some jokes and some funny, like, tender moments and all that. I didn't expect it to be this fucking funny. Like, this is the funniest game I played in a long time, and I don't think it's even like trying to be a comedy game, right? Kind of unfortunate that we don't get to see a more elaborate like jousting setup. These characters do kind of feel like props. I'd like to see them actually joust, but whatever. So one of these days everybody's troubles will be resolved through jousting. I mean, fighting is so dépassé. I think I'll stick with the old method for now, yeah. If anything, I would say that this village feels kind of overwhelming in its size, but without all that much that we can actually interact with directly, which is an interesting choice. My patat. Someone please help them down. Oh, now I gotta go back up and get them. Okay. Let's see. So the little ones are just called patats? Okay. I think I can get them down pretty easily. Let me just see it over here first, though. Because I didn't talk to these guys before. We finally got him cornered. He's gonna pay this time. What did I do? Give me back my just hero figurine. Yeah, you filthy thief. Give it back. No, I didn't do anything. I hope this doesn't escalate for the poor guy. Let me try to help. It'd be cool if you could, like, actually interact directly with more stuff here, but I guess I understand why they wouldn't want to do that. That's okay. Let's keep going. Come on. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, you can't give me that and then give me this shit. Like, come on. I do want to do this. I want to go on the fucking cool zipline thing, please. I'm not even going the right way. Okay, let's try. Whee! Perfect. Please. Okay, thank you. Thank you. This little patat was just... Oh, okay, interesting. So they're still a little thick-headed. You've earned yourself a trip to the arena, but he was just born, and he got stuck up there, and now they're sending him to fight. Cool. Good job, guys. Real healthy society have got worked out here. They're building new Sakkapatats. Can't wait to see what they come up with. Yeah, I heard the new ones have laser cannons and a void sword. That's great, but could they make sure these Sakkapatats only attack Nevrons? No, it should attack Gestrals too, so we can fight it. Good idea. Let's tell them that. Fight. It's a wonder Gestral have survived this long. Yeah. I mean, so the Sakkapatats are like, they're just the socks, and then they put, are they putting like little kids essentially in them? Just letting them fight? So small, yes. Little patats. I have to pay closer attention to the actual like aftermath of the Sakkapatat fight before. So, okay, so the Sakkapatats are actually basically just like suits of armor, and they put the little kids in them and have them fight. That's so fucked up. Well, this Gestral looks very depressed. What are you doing? I do not know. I'm just hitting my head on these sacks. I'm designing a new defensive attachment for the next Sakkapatat, but I feel like I'm not that great at it. Don't be too hard on yourself. Gestral seem more excited by attacking than defending. I fear you are right. The shield design wasn't even our idea. We stole it from previous Interesting, okay. It may be an impossible job for me alone. You can do it. Believe in yourself. I just need to figure out an attack plan that will chow down on Nevrons for breakfast. Not that we eat Nevrons. Of course, it's merely an expression. Thank you, humans. I'm feeling better already. I've gotten more support from you in the past few minutes than the boss has ever given me in his entire lifetime. How can I repay you? Give me a shield? Damn it. If they took the shield tech from previous expeditioners, which is a cool plot detail, by the way, then give me shield. Make something for me. The fuck? Yeah, I agree. I would like to know, like, what exactly the chroma is and why they need it. Okay. The thing is, I don't want to actually change their outfits because their base outfits are so cool. But I want to purchase the things. Okay. Yeah, I would love to know what they actually do with the chroma. Hello, friend. Hello, Karatom. What about the army gonna help me build the best Sakkapate? Did you lie? Hello again. I meant to thank you for guiding us to the village. Oh, it's this guy. Call me Karatom. Now, are you gonna help me or what? It depends. Are your Sakkapatats going to keep attacking us? Well, no. How will I know if it's the best Sakkapate unless I test it against you? Good point. Alright, how can I help? This shall be my greatest endeavor. It will be the ultimate of ultimate Sakkapatats, the ultra ultimate. Ooh, I respect your ambition. Do you already have something in mind, something that will make it ultra ultimate? Yes, earth-shattering explosive cannons, but I'm stuck. The explosions are not very explosive. Sounds like you need better gunpowder. I could see that during our fight too. You definitely need something stronger. Luckily, I know just the thing. It's not only more powerful, it's also easy to carry. You want mushrooms, spores, the blue kind? We cultivated them in Lumiere. They have quite a lot of interesting uses. That is great. I know where I can get some. It was in a grotto somewhere with lots of water. Where was it again? Guess I'm looking for a cavern with a large body of water. Okay, I mean, like, I like the idea of helping out this little guy, and honestly, like, it's giving me Deltarune vibes of, like, designing a machine to thrash your own ass. Like, I do kind of like that idea. Something about the way that dialogue was delivered kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't know. It's just, it was a whole lot of frobbing through text prompts without any, like, voiceover from my character. And I didn't really have much choice in what I was doing. It just kind of felt like a little cutscene would have been better than the text prompts, I guess. I'm not sure how to explain it. But what are you building? Okay, I guess. Work. What are you working on? Shut up. I love the little tilde as well. What are you working on? Shut up. Anyway. Saria says, I think we could learn a thing or two from the society. If our society was more like theirs, we'd be happier. In what way specifically? I mean, they do definitely seem to be pretty happy overall, but that happiness does seem to involve, like, strapping children to walking cannon mechs. So, you know, pros and cons. I mean, honestly, could it get much worse than it is now? Probably not. Back off my junk, I won't sell you nothing. What do you mean? Will you or won't you sell? Oh, okay. Means I'm calling the guards on you. No, let me fight them. Fuck, I want to fight something. Cool. I'm probably going to skip through some of this dialogue because I do want to, like, do something interactive. No rush over there, won't trade with anyone. I wonder what it's all about. He's just a jerk. My old patat says I'm too small of a patat to fight Nevrons. Yeah. Exactly when I was... Oh, interesting. When I was the elder patat and he was the baby patat, he never listened to me either. You know what? I should become the elder patat again, that I can do what I want. I'll send him off for rebirth a little early. Jesus, okay. Wait, you don't have to die before you can be reborn? Oh, a follow-up? Huh. Such an interesting and cool society. I want somebody, if they haven't already... Whoa. What the fuck? Finally. Ooh, I like the music. As usual. Oh, cool. So they've actually, like, teleported us into an arena. Kind of similar to what Omni was saying before, but this feels like it makes more sense, right? Because we were being accosted by the cops anyway. Okay, let's see. No weakness. Let's try this. Nice, okay. Nice, there we go. Beautiful. Une tempête approche. That means a storm is coming? Cool. Nice. Okay, she says she's ready. But he's not actually burning. We can do this. And then I should be able to do this. Nice, okay. Did Maëlle just say survie s'il te plaît? Did she say please survive? Okay, we're sorry. Just for you, we'll trade things we have. You can even pay with chroma. Spare us, please. Okay. So I wonder if, like, do the expeditioners use chroma back in Lumiere as, like, a currency as well? Okay, let's see. Ooh, interesting. Switch to virtuous stance on breaking any shield. Cool. Free aim shots break 2 shields. Virtuous stance all damage pierce shields. That could be very useful. Sekkarum. Man, I love the fucking names that they give to things. to the weapons and shit. Okay, let's see. Can be used at camp to upgrade weapons to level 3, level 9. Okay. So, healing mark. Oh, okay. Interesting. Could be good. Yeah, I want to upgrade. I have 12 of those. Shit, okay. I mean, I don't really need a lot of this stuff. But, these are always useful. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So, how is her current inventory? Current weapon. Brûleur is level 4, 115. Okay, so we lose the fire, but I mean, like, that's a huge jump up in attack potency. Oh, cool, it's the fucking, it looks like one of the arms as well. Dude, the weapon design in this game is also just so fucking clever. There's always something kind of new and surprising. I can't tell you, like, literally every single time I've gotten a weapon and I just see, like, a little sword icon or whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's just like another sword. No problem. I don't mind. And then it winds up being, like, something really cool and unique and cool and unique and uniquely cool. I'm running out of words. But it winds up, like, having its own, like, mesh and its own unique aesthetic to it, and it's not generic either. It's not like, oh cool, I upgraded from a longsword to a broadsword to a bastard sword. It's like a completely different fucking thing, you know. Such level of detail, and it's for every character too. At least everyone that I've seen. I should probably upgrade my Lumina and stuff like that, but I don't really want to stop the momentum. Super. Go down the stairs. Okay. The blocking volumes are getting annoying, but it's okay. Honestly, I kind of wish that they had maybe made... No, never mind. I was going to say that there's an opportunity to make things, like, have a little bit more, like, verticality in terms of not just having these specific platforms that are designated for you to jump up to, but, okay, I'm gonna skip through some of this dialogue because I'm getting a little bit fatigued from it, but if you want me to slow down and focus on some of these dialogue, I can. Oh, this guy, maybe. Expeditioners haven't died yet. Incredible. You might have what it takes to triumph over the most dangerous of Nevrons. Have you fought the chromatic Nevrons? They have terrible strength and a powerful aura. They've wiped out entire expeditions on their own. Damn, okay. So naturally you wanted to fight them too, but many Gestrals, Gestral, okay, have gotten squashed. Gestral. If you two yearn for glorious battles, and see how these go. Okay. Now go. Yes, okay. Thank you. I have already done this, my friend. Okay, yeah, that definitely feels like they're doing an imitation of humanity. I like that. Plenty of clients are just dead. Useful items, weapons or pictos. Juju Pre. Oh, cool. That's cute. Critical moment, 50% critical health is below 30. That could be useful. Oh yeah, here we go. Definitely doing that. Let's go with Mael. She's like by far and away the leader of the pack. Oh yeah, and she has like the solo pictos as well. Nice. Okay. I wasn't expecting that, but that's okay. Oh, she's so satisfying to play as. Nice counter. Oh my god. Almost 3,000 damage. Yeah, no kidding, you got fucking destroyed. Shouldn't have fucked with Mael. Okay. And who is this for? Demonom. What is that element? That's so cool looking. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll get this because I want all the pitos. And that's fine. We can save up for other things later. Okay. Oh, that's for Gustav. Let's see. He's using Lancerham at the moment. Oh, I have two other ones. I forgot that one. Sakkapate 126 and 164. What is this element? That's so cool. Nice. Oh, and he's got the cannon too that takes on the same aesthetic. Very cool. Yeah, that was totally worth it. Okay. So we're getting close to the 3-hour mark. I think I want to go for a little while longer. Is this the chief's house? Yeah. Just to see if I can get to like a... You say Obama? Okay. Yeah, he said thanks, Obama. Didn't know this game was going to get political. Okay, so we've gone all around the village. Very, very cool. I like very much. I am starting to fade a little bit, so here we go. It seems like a great place to end on. Hi, guys. Checking themselves out in the mirror. Nice. This is the JoJo Pose Academy. Okay, let's see. Hi, friend. Damn, look at you. Oh, nice. Is this the first, like, obviously female voice coded enemy that we've seen so far? Also the first one with like feminine breasts, apparently. Yeah, interesting. It's interesting. I never really thought of the other Pitos as having the other Gestrals as having gender at all. They just had a voice, but now I am seeing them as having a gender. Are you the chef? I am indeed the chef of our village. The name's Golgra. There are so many questions. Oh, now she's talking.
On doit atteindre la peintresse. Noko disait que vous pourriez nous aider à traverser la mer.
Humano,
D'autres sont passés par ici avant.
Humano. Interesting. So it did actually switch from like the babbling Simlish to actual like more scripted sounding dialogue. That's cool. The thighs that took the internet by storm. Why am I not surprised that there's like probably a whole like muscle mommy cult out there specifically for her? Nice. Okay. You do not have your own boat. How'd you get here in the first place?
Un homme aux cheveux blancs l'a détruit.
Yeah, ma respecto. Yeah, it's okay. So they do actually have like altered versions of French, so to speak, that they use for the cinematics, or not cinematics, like the more important prominent voice lines or whatever you call them.
Vous le connaissez?
Io sano villaggio, Willa Foserito, Blofo. Ok, sano vivo bota, Willa Foserito eskie.
Oh, Eski.
Lima Cuba, Rico eskie Coraniso Gamawatero.
Alors comme ça, Esquier existe vraiment?
Kimotira, eskie lo fotupo kiso. Kinikako warrior litoga ki.
Need a password.
Tokyo passwordito.
Pourquoi?
I see your comment, sorry. That's not gonna stop anybody. That's not gonna stop like the gooning internet. People are motivated. Let's keep it also accidentally eat you. There's no on string sometimes.
Eh, on a battu votre Sakkapate ultime.
Ki ma sumi karatam. Ritote sakima reggiante tornamento. Surimoto priva. Me respecto. Aiko. Sano reggiantari wariaro. Zam zam. Herodura. Tomo de arena. Luki to me stranger. Puki puki. Nisu.
L'étrangère?
Dumbai kakaix malito de warrior. Tu me...
Yeah, let's just go for it.
Naru. Puki tu be me respect.
Passez devant, on vous suit.
That being said, we already beat up a whole bunch of Gestral before. Okay. So let me save. I'm gonna try to start the tournament, but I'm pretty tired, so like I might not get all the way through it. I'm gonna end at the 3-hour mark. Plus, I'll probably want to take some time after the stream to like tweak my various picto and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. One-on-one fights. Okay. I guess it's a good thing that I did those preemptive fights before. Which on big hands. Didn't I fight him before? Anyway, Mayo's gonna take care of it. Oh, this is the thing you were talking about last week. Okay, gotcha. Ooh, the music. God, it just keeps on being fucking great. Okay, I'm just gonna go through my normal routine here. Right. Okay, this guy's like nothing. Nice. Okay, I mean, I'm like failing, but also it seemed to be fine. Yep, cool. Level 19. Yeah, sure, we'll see about that. Okay, let's do it. Got my hard carry ready to go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, it seems to be working just fine. Gonna keep on doing my combo. Damn it, okay. They're not hurting me, like, at all. What the hell? The other fights that we had before were so much harder. Yeah, I mean, what the hell? See if I can parry this, though. There we go. And goodbye. It's so good. I love how, like, composed she is. Like, she takes a moment to savor it. Okay. Yep, you already know. You already know who it's gonna be. There we go. This guy might be a little tougher. We'll see. We'll do the same combo. I think we're good. Yeah, like, come on, what is this? We do need to get better at the parrying, though. But it doesn't really matter. Oh, here we go, here we go. If she pauses there for a second because she knows she's already won, she can take her time. Okay. Yeah, you keep saying that, but, is this gonna be the stranger or whatever? Yeah, okay, yep. I have feelings. Okay. I did think we saw her die like right next to us though, right? Didn't we?
C'est vous les amis. Vous êtes en vie. Je croyais que j'étais la seule. Je savais que tu t'en sortirais.
Comment t'es arrivé là?
Ils s'attendent à voir un spectacle. On leur donne?
Okay. This is strange to me that, like, we just found this person that we thought was dead and now we're fighting them. But okay. Let's see where this goes. I think I'm gonna like her as a character. That was cool. Like, she's got a combination of like a playing card and a scythe as a weapon. That seems really cool. Let's see. Which is yeah, okay, hang on. There we go. Oh damn. Nice. I'm very curious to see what her abilities are gonna be like. That was like slightly spoiled for me. Awesome. Oh, cool. So she got a special weapon for her, but the other characters might have gotten different weapons for them, if that's what you were saying. But I'm totally fine with Maël becoming the hard carry, so...
Donc, c'était pas si mal.
Est-ce que je fais partie de tes vieux?
Oh, un jour, j'espère. Alors, comment t'es arrivé là?
Ah, après la plage, je me suis retrouvée dans une étrange forêt jaune. C'est pas loin d'ici. J'ai dû éviter quelques névrons. Et puis, j'ai rencontré un gestral qui m'a amené ici. Et voilà.
Eh bien moi, je me suis réveillé près d'une cascade et...
On en parlera plus tard. Retournons voir Golgra.
That was interesting.
Pas de temps à perdre.
Was she the one who was playing the Oh yeah, I probably should. Was she the one who was playing the guitar in the intro, or was that Lune? I can't remember. Okay, I'll do this tutorial and then I'll wrap it up for the evening. Okay. That didn't go very well to start. Okay, Ciel can apply Foretell on enemies, 10 max per enemy. Skills that apply Foretell generate sun charges. Skills that consume Foretell generate moon charges. Okay, so if I attack an enemy, it puts Foretell on them. And then... Oh, sorry. Fuck. Okay. So, they can have Foretell on them, and if I put more Foretell, they get sun charges, and then if I remove Foretell, they get moon charges. Okay. So let's see. Ciel's starting skills are Focused Foretell and Twilight Slash. Focused Foretell plus 5 Foretell. There's 1 sun charge. Stop using Foretell. Okay. Cool. Focused Foretell. Medium physical damage, 1 hit, 2 Foretell. If no Foretell applies, 5. Cool. Just like some Magic the Gathering shit. Ooh, cool. What the hell? I know I parried that. Okay. Using... Oh my god. Oh, Lune was playing the guitar, Ciel was in the play. Oh, okay, gotcha. I got confused. Thanks for clearing that up. Using Focus Foretell has given 1 sun charge and applied 5 Foretell. Ciel gets bonus effects while a sun charge or a moon charge is active. Okay. So sun charge gain 1 AP per Foretell consumed. Moon charge gain 1 AP for Foretell applied. Okay. It's gonna take me a while to process all this. Twilight Slash consumes all Foretell on the target to increase its damage. It also generates 1 moon charge. Focused Foretell applies 5 Foretell to the target since Ciel has already... What the fuck? 1 sun charge. Casting Twilight Slash to give her back 5 AP. Okay. Okay. I totally understood that. And I have now mastered Ciel. Damn it. Okay. So. There we go. Nice. Okay. So. At the start of... Oh my god. Start of Return of Ciel has both a moon and a sun. Archie consumes them to enter Twilight. Okay, so get a moon, get a sun, then go into Twilight. Twilight applies more Foretell. She can stack it up to 20. Damage is increased on the number of sun and moon charges consumed. Okay, so it's building up to like Foretell ultimates essentially. Okay. So he has no Foretell at the moment. Right. There we go. Nice. Okay. It's gonna take me a while to fully process. Ah, Jesus. Sorry, my leg just snapped. To process everything that she can do, but that's cool. Okay. Well, what a great place to stop the stream for the evening. Exactly the 3-hour mark. We now have a full complement of 4 players, except Mael seems to have quit, so we're gonna have to go find her next time. I'm guessing you can only have 3 party members. Okay, so we'll see how that goes next time. This area overall was super fucking cool. Had a lot of fun exploring it. I think there was a lot of really great level design, a lot of really awesome environment design. overall, just fantastic as usual. A little bit overwhelming, maybe a little bit kind of skewed towards the dialogue and towards like the just a lot of consuming things outside of an interactive, like a fully interactive context. So I did get a bit fatigued towards the end, but that's not necessarily a detractor. That's more just a quirk of the area. I'm looking forward to continuing this next Thursday. This Sunday, I'm going to have a pretty substantial Naruto stream. I am going to be talking about Naruto geography and the size of the planet, and as part of that, I'm going to be have quite a lot planned. I have some math stuff I would like to talk about. I have some cosmology stuff that I want to talk about, so I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a longer stream, hopefully, going over a lot of stuff, and then we'll resume Clair Obscur next Thursday. I will try to find some time to mess around with optimizing the characters off stream, so I don't have to do that, like take up people's time doing that on stream, and mess around with CL a little bit, because I'm sure it's going to take me a minute to learn her abilities. But yeah, I'm still loving this game. It's at least a 9 out of 10 for me so far, and I'm loving all the bold choices that they've made, and looking forward to seeing how they continue to expand on that. Thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the stream, checking out the VOD. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, or just whatever you want to share in the comments section. Have a great night and a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon. And as soon as I gain access to my mouse cursor, I can end the stream. Okay, there we go. 3, 2, 1, bye-bye.